Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
we are Home Team.
Helping people live longer, healthier lives is the heart of Purified Living 365. We're proud to serve families and businesses in Martinsburg and all the surrounding areas, because wellness starts at home with the water you drink and the air you breathe. We provide advanced water filtration systems and air purifiers designed to help protect you from everyday contaminants. Our products are backed by consumer research and delivered with the care you can trust. Purified Living 365. Locally trusted, health focused.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
The 2026 Epac Media Day, sponsored by Home Team Sports TV. Tonight we will host all the area Epac teams. I'm your host, JD Fritz. Joining me, my co-host, back with us again, Drew Pitzer. And to his left is Parker Stone from WEPM and Luke Wiggs. And all the way on the end is Bill McCulley from the Spirit of Jefferson. Thank everybody for joining us tonight. We're going to start off with Washington Patriots. Coach Terry Ray. Terry, thanks for joining us and bringing you guys here on tonight.
I appreciate it, guys. This is an honor for all of us.
First question will be for you, Coach. Kind of a down year. You guys had a young team last year. Just want to know this year kind of how some of that maturity has developed with some of those players and kind of who has stood out and kind of taken that leadership role for you going into this season. I'm
really happy with our senior class. They were juniors last year. A lot of those guys started for the first time. They were role players the year before. I'm extremely happy with what they're doing. Our offensive line, if you notice, I got a few of these guys up here with me. I think that they've taken a lot of strides from where they were last year. We're in the learning curve, getting used to it. I thought towards the end of the year we got better, and we continued. Neil Powell is going to step in and be our quarterback this year. He stepped in late year last year after Remy got hurt and led us at the end of the season. Phil Shields is going to actually get to settle down and play H and not instead of playing quarterback, running back, and everywhere else. These guys are, I'm happy. We got Alan Casey back, 100% healthy. That's another big thing for us. I'm really happy with the progress we've made this summer and this offseason.
Yeah, Coach Ray, Drew Pitzer here, Home Team Sports TV. Again, you have Phil coming back, you have Casey coming back, so you have a predominant core that got a lot of touches for you last year. How do you build on a season where you did have some highs last season? You were at 1.33, kind of fell off the wagon a little bit towards the end. How do you kind of build your guys up to keep the momentum, to try to fight for better playoff seeding so ultimately you can have the best possible season outcome as possible?
They hear me say it all the time. 3-7 is unacceptable for us. We're better than 3-7. We know last year we got some injuries and we got dinged up. We played a lot of young guys, but we took that step, the maturity level. These guys have stepped up. We're pushing each other. We're gelling really well. It's a good thing. You got Allen back. You have Phil that's pushing guys. These offensive linemen are pushing the younger guys behind them because they know we have to create depth behind them. Vinny is just a constant guy. It's in everybody's ear. If you look at Cody over here, who led our defense last year, he's the same thing. We have a lot of returning guys that were young last year that are replacing a couple guys here and there. And we feel pretty good. We're returning 6-7 guys on both sides of the football this year, so we're feeling really good. Also, we also got like 3 or 4 guys that were role players that just kept playing a lot and got a lot of experience. So we know what our expectations are this year. The standard's the standard, and we're going to come and play football every Friday night.
Perfect. Yeah. Before I hand this over to Parker, I guess my question for you is you're going to play football every night, but what is going to be your definition of success this season outside of the wins and losses?
We're going to run the football. We're going to be gritty. That's what we're going to be this year.
Well, historically, Coach, I know you've been one that's liked to throw the football more than not.
You always say that to me every year.
Love to throw the ball around. Is this the most run-heavy we are going to see a team led by you ever? I know you got a good staple of backs. You're talking about that offensive line. Is this going to be a heavy buy-in run team in 2026?
We're going to run the football, but we're going to throw it. Again, when you have Xavier Mack, Allen, Cody all sitting in the backfield, and we got Phil lined up at H, we're going to be able to run the football. And these guys have looked really good on the offensive line this year. They've made a lot of great steps. I'm really happy with the progression. But we're going to throw the football. You're going to have to throw the football in high school football. I'm going to honestly tell you, we're going to run the ball a lot more than you're used to seeing a coach or a team run the football this year. But we will throw the football.
And formation-wise, is there possibilities we can see 2, 3, upwards to all 4 of these guys on the field at the same time?
Yeah, you're going to see some crazy stuff from us this year.
I like it.
Coach, this is year 4 for you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Does that make this kind of a special group of these seniors that are coming through?
This is my first freshman class that's coming through as seniors. It is a special group to me. I tell these guys all the time. We've gone on a roller coaster in the 3 years we've been here, so now we've gone down. We want to come right back up right now.
Can you just walk us down the line of the players that you have on stage with you?
Well, to my right, to my left, you got Phil Shields, senior. You have Matthew Gordillo, senior. You have Gunnar Waxler, senior. Gunnar signed with Long Island University, just in case you guys didn't know that. You have KJ, which is Caden Jones. We have Neil Powell, junior, who's a junior. You have Cody Titus, who's a junior. You have Alan Casey, who's a senior. And we have Vincent Arnicar, who's a senior.
I interviewed you guys earlier, so I'm going to defer it back to my colleagues, but I will say, fellas, best of luck to you this season.
I guess we'll just start firing off questions to the players. Phil, you talk about your expectations going into this season. I mean, what's it like being a part of a backfield where you might split some carries? I mean, are you excited to have fresh legs, knowing that not just you, but there's a lot of different guys that can carry the rock in this offense?
I mean, it's going to be nice having other people to carry the ball too, but my expectation for this season is to honestly just try to take it as much as I can, do more than I did last year, actually help my team win, and then, yeah, that's about it.
Neil, stepping into the quarterback role, I know a massive responsibility for you. What's this offseason been like for you? What's been some of the regimen you worked with some of the guys up there with you, and what's the expectation for you heading into this season?
The expectation is to play together mostly. I just want to be with each teammate just to really know each other.
Stylistically for you, are you a quarterback that's looking to run a lot with the guys that your coach has talked about it? Your rushing attack's going to be really important. Are you going to be a big runner with the football as a quarterback? Throwing wise, what can we expect from a team led by Neil Powell at quarterback?
Well, I hope I can do both. I know Coach Ray talks about the run a lot. I hope to be a big part in the run. Passing the ball, that's a big job that we need to do, and hopefully we can do well this year.
You a West Coast guy, throw the ball down the field, or give us an NFL comp for you as a thrower?
I think more of a pocket passer, but I can run, so.
Russell Wilson, actually.
Yeah.
There you go. Probably too young for that. But this question is for you, Alan. Coming off a season last year where you had a lot of highs and lows, especially. Oops, sorry, I apologize. Right here, too close. Okay. I'm gonna re-ask you again, Alan. So last year, like I said, you had a lot of highs and lows, especially when you were healthy. But towards the end of the season, obviously, you were dealing with the injury bug. What's kind of been something you've done this all season to maybe prepare your body a little bit more to handle the grind of the concept? You get a lot of temps on the ground and through the air. So how are you going to make sure that you're healthy going getting late into the season?
Well, I only played a game and a half last year because I messed my knee up. But we done been through surgery, been through all the recovery. Feels great, so we're just going to let them have it.
Perfect. And then I'm going to ask you also, Phil, obviously you had a big workload on you, especially towards the end of last season. how are you feeling physically? Are you feeling good? You ready to get after it? Could you play tomorrow if they actually need 30 carries from you?
Yes, sir.
I like that. That's quick and easy.
I'm going to ask Cody. Cody got limited carries last year. Kind of tell us how you fit in the mix between with Xavier and Phil and Allen coming in. You guys got a loaded backfield. I know Phil will get to you in a second. I want to ask you something, but talk about that a little bit.
It's just straight downhill. 2-3 yards. That's all I need. Straight downhill.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with the few carries you got. I'm like, man, that kid's got to get the ball more. I don't know what Coach was thinking last year. I was like, man, Tyson needs the ball, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
But Phil, I know you were like a jack of all trades last year. I mean, you lined up at quarterback, receiver, running back. Where do you see kind of with the running backs coming back this year, being healthy? Where do you see yourself kind of falling, fitting in more? Are you going to move back out to kind of a receiver role?
Yeah, I'm going to move back to another receiver. We'll also be able to be in the backfield on the ball too.
Awesome. Well, guys, we appreciate you being here. We take up any more of your time. You guys go and have fun. You guys finished up practice. And that's all we got, guys, for the Washington Patriots with Coach Ray. I'd like to thank the players for joining us. Next up, we will have the Hedgesville Eagles, I believe. I don't know if they're here yet. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. You're watching Home Team Sports Epac Media Day.
In one building. So that's exactly what we did. We have strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit. We have posing rooms, a full turf, a full track outside. We even have a basketball court. We wanted everything to be under one roof. So that's just kind of the thing that we did. We also went out and we made sure that we got top of the line equipment. We also make sure that all the pads and everything are getting replaced and all the machines are being taken care of properly. That's just something we strive to do for this community. We also like to give back to the community with donations, fundraisers, and other stuff for like kids and the families around. So that's just kind of who we are as a gym, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys.
Hey, I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm Braden, and we are Brothers Bin Blasting, your bin blasting all-stars.
A unique sanitizing service begins right after your local trash collection. With a scheduled pickup time and location, we arrive promptly to clean your bins on the spot.
Our advanced 360-degree cleaning heads and pressurized water heated to over 200 degrees ensures a powerful blast blasting away 99% of all germs and bacteria. Visit our website at brosbinblasting.com and use code GETBLASTED to receive 50% off your first cleaning.
Since opening in 2017, we have been the local hangout spot to watch a game and meet up with family and friends. With over 20 TVs, there isn't a bad seat in the house to watch every game played. Serving a full food menu ranging from appetizers to steak dinners, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week and later on weekends. Daily drink and food specials, and of course, happy hour from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday. So come on out to Benchwarmer Sports Bar and Grill and enjoy some great drinks, great food, and great atmosphere.
This is Jimmy, General Manager at Ameritech Tire and Auto, here to serve you with all your auto repair and service needs. We are a family-owned business serving our community since 2003. We work on all makes and models from vintage cars and trucks to collectors to today's latest, newest vehicles. So stop in and see us at one of our 2 locations. See you soon.
Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
we are Home Team.
Welcome to Cookies and Milk Child Care Center. We have 2 locations conveniently located in Kearneysville and Martinsburg. Our mission is to be the leading provider of higher quality care and education services for children ages 6 months to 12 years of age. We provide the highest quality child care available at an affordable cost. For more information, contact us at 304-901-2961.
The Eastern Panhandle is home to teachers and healthcare workers, farmers and fishermen, servicemen and women, golfers, bicyclists, and people who love the outdoors. Where we call home isn't any one thing, so we're not either. At Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, we are honored to help you plan a celebration of life that reflects one's individuality.
Our trusted local team is here to see that your wishes are honored and that your special story is told.
Here at the barn, we have been making dreams come true since 1972, where we help women feel their most beautiful for any occasion, from pageant, homecoming, and prom gowns to walking down the aisle in the perfect wedding gown alongside their bridesmaid and their family. Stop by to meet your stylists today to find an affordable gown, and we do offer layaway.
Buying or selling real estate? Katra Law is the local choice for real estate closings. In fact, we were honored to be chosen as the best of the best real estate closing attorneys for 2022 by the Martinsburg Journal. With offices conveniently located on Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg and South George Street in Charlestown, Katra Law proudly serves the Eastern Panhandle. Whether on the court, field, or in the classroom, we wish all of our student athletes a safe and successful.
Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
we are Home Team.
Helping people live longer, healthier lives is the heart of Purified Living 365. We're proud to serve families and businesses in Martinsburg and all the surrounding areas, because wellness starts at home with the water you drink and the air you breathe. We provide advanced water filtration systems and air purifiers designed to help protect you from everyday contaminants. Our products are backed by consumer research and delivered with the care you can trust. Purified Living 365. Locally trusted, health focused.
Juwan is the ultimate hype guy. I love him. He's always positive. He's always pepping them up and firing them up.
Hop Parker, work Parker, work Parker, work, 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 work.
And welcome back, guys, to the Home Team Sports Epac Media Day. JD Fritz here, joined by co-host Drew Pitzer. Drew, man, this is an exciting event that we put on every single year, and it gets better and better. Kind of where do you see this going, and kind of what are you looking forward to the season so far?
I mean, when you look at the tournaments in this area, I mean, year in and year out, JD, it's absolutely fantastic. It feels no different. Obviously, you have a whole new coaching staff, a whole new
Luke Wish, WPM Radio. Nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.
We're super excited to see you year in, year out, cover these guys. It's all
just a few minutes, guys. We're waiting for some of the other players to arrive here for Hedgesville. Will be up next here at the Epac Media Day. We're also joined once again by the guys from EPM Radio, Luke Wiggs, and also Andrew Spellman. Parker Stone, and Bill McCauley from the Spirit of Jefferson's down there as well. They will be asking questions here momentarily. But we're going to. What's that? We all good to go? We're going to go ahead and kick it off now. We got Hedgesville here, waiting, ready to go, and Coach Isaiah Farmer. Welcome, first-year head coach. I'd like you go ahead and introduce your team now, if you would, please.
Yes. How we doing? I, of course, am Isaiah Farmer. Next to me, I have my offensive coordinator, Scooter Gaskins. And, of course, I have my starting right guard, Liam Foote, one of my linebackers and tight ends, Cam Webb. I have my running back and my safety here, Braden Hill, my starting quarterback, Kevin Blosser, and, of course, my other starting guard and defensive tackle, Ryder Jackson here.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. First question for you, Coach. New coach, first-year coach, guys. You got a lot of new young players. Had some players leave from last year. Kind of what do you feel going into this season your expectations are going to be?
I'm excited. Expectations are there. This team has been through a lot. As you know, the history of the school has been through a lot. So success comes in different ways. And main thing we've been harping on this offseason is discipline and relentlessness, teaching the boys that it goes beyond football as well. So making sure that we have an atmosphere set up for the boys to let them know that we're not just here to play football. We're also here to set up a brotherhood afterwards. And that's something that I grew up with down south, especially from being from South Carolina. I can call up plenty of my teammates, and it's a brotherhood. Anytime I need something, they can come. And I put them around many college players in this offseason, NFL guys that have come in and taught our boys something different in every aspect of the game, learning discipline and relentlessness. That's the biggest thing that we've been harping on. That's what I hope to see, is the discipline and the relentlessness that we practiced during this offseason and how it all comes to play this coming year.
Scooter, Coach Gaskins.
What's up, guys?
You go way back, man. It's nice to see you up here getting back into the coaching, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Nice to see you guys, too.
Kind of talk about your role coming in, helping out Coach Farmer this year, and what do you expect as well?
So my role coming in, I'm really working with the receivers. As you guys know, that's really what I played. I'll be working with the offense, too. I'll be the lead offensive coordinator. And we're just coming in, we're just trying to just help Isaiah just balance it all. I'm saying? First-year head coach, it can be real hectic. And, having good guys around you that can build that foundation and take as much off you, I believe that that'll help lead to the success of the school moving forward, honestly.
This one's also for you, Scoot. You look at the talent you have on your roster, and obviously stylistic. I don't know what you're going to be running exactly, but what do you look for in your offense, and what are you going to try to achieve this season?
What I look for is, obviously I want my guys up front. They got to be able to block. We got to be able to block for our quarterback so we can get our passes off and stuff like that. And outside, mainly we're looking for the athletes, like the guys who can run fast, the guys who can jump, the guys who can catch. And we're really going to be a lot of everything, but we're going to be using our tight ends a lot. We got a couple good tight ends. One of them couldn't make it. His name's Keith. You guys will hear about him a lot. And then we're going to be spreading the ball out. We're going to be a lot of spread this year, a lot of up-tempo. We're not going to be huddling. Everything's going to be fast-paced and, just trying to just move the ball downfield as fast as we can all year.
Perfect. And Coach Farmer, before I pass it over, this is a real serious question, but, when you look at your team, who's the funniest guy that you got on your roster?
Oof, funniest guy. There's a couple, to be honest with you. That when I first came in, it was a corn fest, but one of them is actually sitting up here, Liam Foote. That dude's been a cornball since day one, and he still is. Sometimes I got to yell at him in practice to lock in a little bit. But between them two right here, those two are probably the most funniest on the team because they're always doing something hilarious to the point to where they're either not locked in or I got to yell at them to do a little something to lock in.
Yeah, just got to tell them lock in to him. Appreciate you, Parker.
Coach Farmer, talk a little bit about the process, how you landed the job this offseason, and what kind of led to you landing on this job, what attracted you to it, and how you've really been able to fill out your staff and fill out your team towards this point of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting off, I had just finished up a little bit of a pro career, playing with some pro teams, some tryouts, different things like that. And I actually had a kid approach me in the gym, where I work, and he was like, hey, coach, because I'm a master personal trainer there. He was like, hey, coach, I would love to have you be my head coach. I was like, okay, well, where do you play? And I was giving him different tips and things like that. And he said Hedgesville. And I was like, okay, like didn't really hear a lot about Hedgesville, and I was like, this kid's coming to ask me something because he's seen me work out before. He knows I played a little bit of football in my day, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna throw my hat in the bucket for fun. And sure enough, I got closer with that kid and learned the different ins and outs of the school, what was going on, the different scenarios, and ultimately I decided to take the position because I went through a similar thing in high school where I'm from Clover, South Carolina, where our program was down. And we had a head coach change, and Coach Brian Lane, I always thank him. But he came in, and he changed my life. He's one of the reasons why I played college football and got as far as I did. And because of him, I'm allowed to now give back to the kids. And, that's what led me to do this, is to take, a step away from playing actually and give back to the kids and, put my ring in the hat and do this. When I saw these kids, a lot of the stigmatism where these kids suck, these kids aren't this, these kids aren't good. But the truth is, these kids are athletes. There's going to be athletes, and there's going to be hidden gems every single place that you go. But especially, they're all in Hedgesville. Now, not a lot of people are going to realize that, but the kid just needed to see it from somebody who's played the game and went very far with it, has had national titles with it, that you can do it. It doesn't have to be a coach who never played before. It always takes somebody else who's actually played the game or been there before to show the kids sometimes what it looks like to be great. And the main thing was showing these kids that a championship mentality exists, which is something that these kids nowadays don't really realize, is that I can be more than just a football player. I can be an athlete. I can be a student athlete, and that the game of football can help you get degrees, change your life, and put you in a different place than you want to be. So I'm grateful that kid came up to me, and he told me that, hey, Coach, I want you to coach for me, because now I have some adopted sons. I spend every day with them, and these boys, even though they're sometimes hard-headed, they're a fun group and they're a rowdy group, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
You can talk a good bit about, I know you had an extensive college career, and you mentioned playing a little bit of pro. What kind of advantage is that for you, not too long off of a playing career, and how you're able to translate that to your career?
It's definitely a big plus if I'm saying anything, because I'm still able to show the kids what it looks like. I still run with the kids. I still move with the kids, because you can't sit there and nowadays most kids see things differently. They're not always going to get things from a playbook, from X's and O's on the chart or on the screen or whatever it is. Sometimes you got to act it out in front of the kids, and if you're not showing the kids what it looks like in full force and full speed, you can't expect them to do it. So it gives us a huge advantage, and that's the way I sort of put together my staff, is guys who have played at the level, been at that high level, and seen what it looks like. Our defensive coordinator, who couldn't be here, Keyshawn Haley, a fellow teammate of mine at Shepherd, he came on the staff as well, All-American guy over at Shepherd, and I was glad, because he still knows what it looks like, and me and him set the expectations that, okay, this is what we want, this is what it's got to look like. And I think the boys appreciate having coaches who actually played the game and are still a little bit fresh, to the point to where we can still run with kids and things like that. And I've also made that a requirement of my staff, is, hey, you got to stay in shape, because you can't tell the kids to do something that you don't want them to do, and now they sit there and they're looking back at you like, well, you're telling me to do 100 burpees or 100 push-ups, and you can't even do it. So my big mindset has been, all right, hey, if you're going to tell the kids to do something, you got to be able to do it too.
Kevin, we heard Coach Gaskins talk up tempo, no huddle, potentially spread the ball out. I mean, does that kind of fit your style of play?
Yeah, just goes with all the offense and stuff. Just fast tempo, get on the ball, get defense off their toes, keep it moving.
What year in school are you?
I'm a class 29 for sophomore.
Okay. So I remember you getting in a couple of snaps, a couple of drives last season. I mean, can you talk about how valuable that is at the quarterback position? I imagine the first time you went out there, things were moving a million miles an hour. To kind of break that glass and then kind of come back your sophomore season and settle in.
Yeah, it was definitely valuable that I got my first couple of reps on varsity as a freshman, got the environment, saw how it moves, speed and everything. So it definitely helps me now going in as my sophomore year.
Or this question can be answered by anyone in gentlemen. As you know, Wheeling Park, Morgantown University are coming onto the schedules. At some point, they're going to be coming part of Epac. Given these football powers coming in, of course, Morgantown is coming in here as the defending state 4A champion. What's going to be like going up against the like of these big
I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world. No matter where you go, you're going to have some of those top dogs that, you know, you're going to play against. But the main thing is we're going to compete. You know, again, at the end of the day, every team is beatable. There's no team in this state, in the country, that isn't beatable. It's all about scheme, lining up, and playing football at the end of the day. So, you know, Maddox Twig and that program over there, it's a great program, and they've done a great job over there. But again, every team is beatable. So I'm excited to play them. You know, and again, at the end of the day, I hope that kid goes very far because he's got some great talent.
Throw my lineman up here. We're talking Liam and Ryder, right? You
Yes,
guys,
sir. Yes, sir.
I guess a question for both of you. It was more of maybe a run-heavy approach. I guess to start with you, the last couple of seasons, it sounds like you guys might spread things out a little bit, have fewer numbers in the box. Can you talk about that transition? I mean, you know, probably not going to have as many tight ends around you or, you know, personnel in the backfield. How it's been a little bit of a shift adjusting to this new offensive scheme?
I feel like it's going to be a good shift. I mean, it opens up our playbook. It gives us more options and more ways to, like, throw the ball and keep the defense on their toes and, like, not what they expect.
Yeah, we're definitely a lot more disciplined than last year. So we can go multiple ways. We can go a lot in the box, or we can spread it out. So this offense, it's going to be a lot different than what we had last year. So we're definitely more prepared than we were in the last few years I've been playing for Edgersville. So I'm ready.
Coach Farmer, I want to talk a little bit more about defensive philosophy with you guys. You mentioned Keyshawn coming in as your DC. What can we expect from a Hedgesville defense? I know your background's also in the trenches on the defensive line. How heavy are you working with that defensive line group? What's Keyshawn's role? Is he working heavily with secondary? Because I know that's what he specialized in college. What can we expect from a Hedgesville defense in 2026?
We're going to fly around. There's going to be some different things. We're going to show a lot of different looks. We're also going to get after it in many different ways. You're going to see some new things pop out that you might not see at the high school level, that you might see at the college level only. So I'm excited about it. Yes, I am hands-on in the box. Played a little bit of linebacker as well, so I'm hands-on in the box all day long because I want that group to be nasty. Our edge rushers this year are going to show a different style of playing, getting after the quarterback, knowing how to do things that are different. Because the main thing I want these kids to be able to set up to do is go to college. That's the big end picture, is to send them off to be a great college football player. So teaching them different techniques that, you know, you might not get till you get to college, you know, that some kids down south already have. So the main thing is setting these kids up for greatness, and Coach Keyshawn has done the same thing. We're setting these kids up for greatness, teaching them different ways to play catch technique, how to play man, you know, how to play different zones, different coverages, different things like that. Alignment, assignment technique is what we've been preaching and harping on. So us two, we have definitely been priming this defense to be something different than it has been.
Is there a coverage shell you guys have really liked on your guys yet? Single high, 4-drop? What have you guys liked so far?
See, that's one I can't give you yet, you know, all the way. See, you know, we might have some other teams watching this, and they got to come find out what we're in, you know. It's all about a disguise, maybe not a disguise, but just know it's going to be interesting.
Personality and how it's infectious. You can see that your players really love you. But when you look at this season, you know, what is something that really concerns you that you really need to improve on to end up giving you the results that you end up wanting, whether that's obviously to win a championship, you know, but what defines the season as a success for yourself?
Honestly speaking, it starts with just competing. You know, that's been the biggest thing that everybody has counted this team out about, is competing, you know. And I expect to compete. You know, understand? At the end of the day, if we can fly around and play football, there's no doubt in my mind that we can compete with some teams in this area. So coming out the gate and really competing, showing what we've done in the offseason, not just walking around, showing that we're disciplined, you know, that we are a different team than in the past. This year, I'll tell you straight off the bat, you're not going to see a lot of the cussing and yelling at each other on the field again. That is a non-negotiable. We set a lot of non-negotiables with this team. And the main things have been not talking back, not yelling at your teammates, picking your teammates' head up, because that's where it starts, right? If you got a linebacker that misses his read and then ultimately leads to a 5-yard gain on a slant, I don't want my other, you know, Will linebacker yelling at my Mike linebacker, hey, you got to do your job. No, it's, hey, man, let's get right. I got you on this next play. Get what you got to go. Get where you got to go. Let's handle business. And that's what you're going to see a lot of this year. And it's going to change some things around. So I'm excited to see what these boys can do. But ultimately, success looks to me like competing, just having fun out there, flying around, but also communication.
Coach, who's going to be toting the rock for you this year?
Toting the rock this year, you're going to see multiple faces, but the main one is standing up here. Braden Hill. Braden Hill's, I know he had a little bit of a big impact last year going into it, but there's going to be a multitude of guys toting the rock this year. So, again, it's going to be a surprise what you see out of our offense, but it is a multitude of different things that you're going to see.
And, Braden, with that said, what year are you in school?
I'm going to junior year, yes, sir.
So how do you feel again about, obviously you got a lot of carries last year, coming in kind of having that weight on your shoulders again, being the man in the backfield, kind of helping your team try to get you to the next level?
Yes, sir. So last year I got a decent amount of carries. This year hoping to get more, and I think on the offensive side of the ball would be good, running the ball.
Well, guys, anybody else have any questions?
Let's get one for Cam there on the end. Talk about what it's like having a head coach. I'm assuming you're in your 20s, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
What's it like having a head coach that's less than 10 years older than you?
Yeah, you can really relate to him a lot on certain things, from him coming and playing the defensive side of the ball. If you have like a certain question or like any tips that you need for like when I come down and talk the D-line and he like moves or anything like that, he's like really can just relate to him.
Coach, both of you guys, you talked about, not asking your players some stuff that you would want to do. And I think we're going to have to get some stuff on video. I want to see some burpees, Coach. I know Scooter
Hey, come on.
for some burpees. I think he can still move on the field a little bit.
Look, I will tell you, we're always moving on the field, and you'll see us like sometimes when we're heading up to the weight room, we make it a little bit fun. They don't like it as much because if I beat them to the weight room, they got to run again all the way from the field. So we have a little bit of fun with it. There's different things that we do. We jump in sometimes and have some fun with the boys, and because at the end of the day, we want to make coming to practice fun. If the kids, aren't coming to practice and being like, all right, we're locked in, but we're still having a little fun and fly around, kids aren't going to enjoy it. At the end of the day, it's a business deal, and these kids got to show that they want it. And by us being a little bit on the younger side of the coaching staff, we're still allowed to do that and show up and be there for these kids in different ways. But again, it goes beyond football. Again, these boys, me being in my 20, my biggest thing has been showing these boys that it goes beyond football, that they can set themselves up for education and getting out of Berkeley County. There's more to this world than Berkeley County, that they can be doctors, lawyers, firefighters, cops, whatever they want to be in this world. It goes beyond football. So the main thing is showing them that, yes, even in our young age, and that we may be still trying to figure out life, for myself and Coach Scooter and our staff, but at the end of the day, they can rely on us and know that, okay, hey, Coach Scooter and them might know what that feels like, or hey, they were back in my shoes when Coach might have took me out because I wasn't doing a certain thing. Let me find out why. So it goes beyond football and letting them know that, hey, we're here for you, but also we're going to get after you a little bit.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you guys, players, and Coach Scooter Gaskins also for coming up here and joining us this evening. That's all we got for you guys. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. And coming up here on Home Team Sports Epac Media Day, we have Spring Hills Cardinals. And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Appreciate you.
Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
We are Home Team.
Helping people live longer, healthier lives is the heart of Purified Living 365. We're proud to serve families and businesses in Martinsburg and all the surrounding areas, because wellness starts at home with the water you drink and the air you breathe. We provide advanced water filtration systems and air purifiers designed to help protect you from everyday contaminants. Our products are backed by consumer research and delivered with the care you can trust. Purified Living 365. Locally trusted, health focused.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle with True Performance Fitness. I'm one of the owners here. True Performance Fitness as a whole, we brought this gym to the area and we wanted to bring every walk of fitness in one building. So that's exactly what we did. We have strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit. We have posing rooms, a full turf, a full track outside. We even have a basketball court. We wanted everything to be under one roof. So that's just kind of the thing that we did. We also went out and we made sure that we got top of the line equipment. We also make sure that all the pads and everything are getting replaced and all the machines are being taken care of properly. That's just something we strive to do for this community. We also like to give back to the community with donations, fundraisers, and other stuff for like kids and the families around. So that's just kind of who we are as a gym, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys.
Hey, I'm Jeremiah.
And I'm Braden, and we are Brothers Bin Blasting. Your Bin Blasting All-Stars.
A unique sanitizing service begins right after your local trash collection. With a scheduled pickup time and location, we arrive promptly to clean your bins on the spot.
Our advanced 360-degree cleaning heads and pressurized water heated to over 200 degrees ensures a powerful blast blasting away 99% of all germs and bacteria. Visit our website at brosbinblasting.com and use code GETBLASTED to receive 50% off your first cleaning.
Since opening.
And welcome back, guys, to the Home Team Sports Epac Media Day. I'm your host, JD Fritz. Joining us now is the Spring Mills Cardinals, coached by Marcus Law. Also with him, joining him is Coach Buddy Hessen. Coach, how you doing?
Doing well. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great, man. Ready for another season. I hope everybody's excited. We're all here excited. Kick off another football season here in the Epac, man. It's going to be a tough one. So kind of talk about your anticipation, some fresh faces, some other guys stepping up this year. Just talk about your overall team and what your expectations are for the season.
I mean, honestly, it's one of those things, we kind of got everyone out to the field. For us, we've got a lot of multi-sport guys, so our stuff really starts at the end of May, going to early June. And so just to see the progression where we started at in June, especially with the new phases and just getting our offense implemented the way that we did, and defensively, I think for the most part, we're both pretty happy where we are right now. Obviously, the first scrimmage coming up this weekend. We get an opportunity to go out there and kind of really see where we are at this standpoint. And again, I think for us, and all these guys will say the same thing, it's just a blessing to be out there on the field each and every single day. Right now, sitting at 14 seniors, really trying to get those guys to soak it in every day is an opportunity towards the end product there. So overall, really looking forward to the season. Even though for me, it's a little early to kind of give where we are right now until after that first scrimmage, I'll get a better feel for it.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Hessen, I know you are a big defensive guy. You like to bring the heat. You always talk about 11 guys to the football. Talk about, is there going to be any significant changes this year on your defense, or are you guys pretty much going to stick with what you know? And
you may see a few wrinkles, but for me, expectations the same. Faces change. I mean, that's a yearly thing. I like to bring pressure. That's what we do. But there's always a case where you can't bring pressure. And I tell these guys all the time, I'll call a bunch, But if I have to check out, I'm fine with checking out and, changing coverages, stuff like that. But we've added a few wrinkles, and excited to see how they look against someone else.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
And Coach Law, this one's for you. This is the first season in the last about 3 that you've been here. Obviously, you don't have any Anderson brother on the field. And last year, coming up just short against the eventual state championship, winner in Morgantown. Obviously, I know you're not worried about last year. This is this season, but how do you kind of build off of how you ended last year and the momentum you started carrying as you got into postseason play to take it to this year?
Well, I think you look back at last year's season, there's a lot that we've learned from that one. And I think it starts with that adversity that we had to face. You go back to that season, we lose 3 starting linemen to ACL injuries. And so we had guys on that line that had to go pretty doggone fast. And once you got to that final game, you kind of saw what could have been. But, again, we can't dwell on that.
Right.
We get 11 guys out there. Those are the guys that we have. And that's really been our mindset this year. We have the guys that we have. But, again, I think we look at that game, there's a lot of things that we did great. There are some things that we wish we could have done a little bit different. But, again, that's why you play the game. So we've used those things to kind of spearhead it what we've done this year. We've taken special teams a lot more serious this year. In fact, that's probably one of the things we've done since day one is not necessarily whole group stuff, but, again, starting to implement just some of the things that we saw from last year just to correct the things that we need to this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And before I hand it over to Parker, this is probably the first season of the last few seasons as well that the expectations aren't, hey, to get to a state championship or bust. How does it feel to kind of come into a season where I think personally you guys are extremely talented, can pick up right where you left off, but not have the state's expectations on y'all to be state championship contenders? How are you coaching a little bit differently now with this group in comparison?
Well, whose expectations? Yours or mine?
Your personal expectations.
My expectations is to play on the final Saturday every year.
I love it.
I mean, there's nothing. If that's not, then why you do it?
Of course.
If you're not, your whole goal is not to play in that game, then you might as well do something else.
I like that. Yeah, that's straightforward. How do you same with you, Coach Law?
I'm the same way, and I think I can speak for the 14 seniors that we have. These guys are going to come out to practice. Well, they do come to practice every day, and they put in the best effort they can. I mean, our school is 1,400 kids, and we got a select group that come out there.
Yep.
They're hungry. They want the opportunity to showcase what they can do.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, you guys always had that identity, being hungry and flying to the football. So appreciate it, Parker.
Chaz, what's it been like? New school, new receivers, new line. What's it been like for you this offseason, working with these guys, learning kind of a new scheme, new system? Has there been a points learning curve for you? What's the transition been like so far?
It's been really, really good. The atmosphere is way different. It's a more so winning atmosphere. They don't expect bare minimum. We got to go out and get it. But we got great playmakers. That's awesome. Takes the pressure off me a lot, for sure.
And I know, like, injury-wise has been something in your career up to this point. Does it feel like now you have everything at your disposal of, okay, I got a line who I can trust that'll give me time to throw. I've got a running game behind me. I know Chris is up there next to you, some of you're familiar with. I got a running game behind me. Is this maybe the most complete you've felt as a player with a team heading into a season?
100%. No doubt.
Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know you've got Keelan up there that's got some experience at quarterback as well, but you're going into this season with the third different quarterback in 3 years. Does it take you a while to install and get a guy like Chaz up to speed, or is he someone that's taken to it really well?
I mean, I'll go on the limb here. I mean, both these guys, opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised what you see back there. But to speak to Chaz, he's a guy who's got 3 years of starting experience underneath his belt, and that's one of the first things him and I have done. Like, he is the offensive coordinator when he's on the football field, so him and I have to see the same page. So, we can take the stuff that we do, we can change the language when it comes down to it. A lot of people do very similar things. So it's about getting him and I on the same page, and as well with Keelan. We all three got to be on the same page, and I can say between the both of those guys, they're very unselfish kids. And so I think they tend to put the team first and do what's best for the team.
And, Coach, if you don't mind, can you just kind of go down the line and talk about who you brought and the impact you expect them to have on your team this season?
So starting on the far side here is Matthew Nair. Matthew was one of the guys that we were really counting on last year, but as we talked about before, unfortunately, ACL injury for him, and he was playing some great football for us last year, but I absolutely look for him to get back into it and give us that forever this year. Next up is Johnny Dronberg for us. Again, jack of all trade on that offensive line for us, center, guard. He's a kid that can kind of do everything and really kind of holds us down offensively as far as getting us in the right situation. And you guys know Keelan, man. He's a kid that can line up at the slot receiver, corner, quarterback. And he's a guy that we try to tailor some things around to his best benefit to him. Next up is Jacob Long. Again, for Jacob, really, really excited to see him to continue to emerge at the outside receiver for us, but he's done a tremendous job at safety for us as well. Next up, you got Nolan, who, correct me if I'm wrong, coach, is our leading tackler from last year. Again, I think he might be the only junior up here, but again, he's absolutely earned the time to come up and be with these guys here. So, very strong kid himself. Next up, we got Chris. Again, Chris, I'm super excited to have him over here. Man, what can I say? Physical runner. He's a guy that can help you in the run game, can help you on the deep side of the ball. But again, one of the things we saw when we've kind of faced him is he's very good in the special team area as well. And then you talk about Chaz on the end down there. Again, I like how smart he is. He comes to work. He's prepared. And I really look forward to seeing him, what he can do this year.
Yeah, with the addition of Wheeling Park University in Morgantown coming into this area, it appears now that all football eyes, especially in Class 4A, are now on the Eastern Panhandle. How does it feel to be part of what is a very elite group?
Well, I think, coming from where I came from and moving here, the eyes have been on the Eastern Panhandle for a long time. And it's always been the Eastern Panhandle and then the west of West Virginia is how, I always felt. But they're coming to conference, but they've already been on our schedule. So, for us, it's nothing new. It's just, they're there, so.
Matthew, how great is it going to be coming off an injury to take that first snap in a regular season game? You talk about your recovery process and how happy you are to get back out there.
Hey, it's going to feel great. You know what I'm saying? It feels amazing to, come back to practice and be able to see all my teammates again. The recovery process, it was long, it was pretty hard, but I'm more than grateful to be back, and it was a experience to come back and help with the water and stuff and just come to practice even while I was hurt. Watching this game sucked, man. Never not being able to play and stuff, that stuff hurt, but I'm very excited to be back.
Nolan, I don't want to put you in a difficult spot because he's on stage with you, but what's it like playing with Coach Heston? We're calling games. We can hear that intensity in the press box. I imagine that's a guy that can really motivate you.
Yeah, he's great. One of the smartest guys I've ever been around. And if you're not playing hard, you're not going to play. So I think his intensity really rubs off on everybody else and helps us play a lot better.
I'll piggyback onto that, Nolan. You being trusted to be the defensive coordinator for the defense that's on the field as the Mike linebacker, what is that like being entrusted with that? Again, being an underclassman last year, you rise up as a junior, knowing that you have that trust from your coaching staff. What is that like to you?
It's a good feeling, definitely, especially this year being a lot younger. I'm definitely going to have to step up as a leader, but I think it's a good feeling.
And Keelan, your coach talked about it. It sounds like you're just going to be used like a Swiss Army knife, a whole bunch of abilities that you can play at different positions that you can play. What can we expect out of your impact on the field this year? What can you provide?
Just expect my speed, being wherever you need me to be at. Just coming across the field, just catching those little routes, getting those little yards, just making plays.
Do you have a positional preference? Do you like getting carries, playing quarterback, playing receiver, just like playing football?
No, I just like playing football, wherever you need me at.
Can we see a hat trick for you? Throw a touchdown, rush for a touchdown?
No pressure. I don't know. We'll see.
Watch a game and meet up with family and friends. With over 20 TVs, there isn't a bad seat in the house to watch every game played. Serving a full food menu ranging from appetizers to steak dinners, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week and later on weekends. Daily drink and food specials, and of course, happy hour from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday. So come on out to Benchwarmer Sports Bar and Grill and enjoy some great drinks, great food, and great atmosphere.
This is Jimmy, General Manager at Ameritech Tire and Auto, here to serve you with all your auto repair and service needs. We are a family-owned business serving our community since 2003. We work on all makes and models from vintage cars and trucks to collectors to today's latest, newest vehicles. So stop in and see us at one of our 2 locations. See you soon.
Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
we are Home Team.
Welcome back, everyone. We resolved those technical difficulties. And Coach Law, this one's going to be for you. You know, obviously, you seem very excited about this team. So I'm going to ask you a 2-part question. What is the thing that you are most excited about this team, but also the one thing that irritates you so much that it drives you crazy?
I mean, honestly, I think anytime you do something you love and it doesn't feel like work, you want to be there, right? So I can honestly say up to this point here, like coming to practice, whether we're out there, we're serious. We've done a few different things this year to kind of get some bonding going with the kids. I absolutely love being out there. And not to say that it hasn't changed throughout the years, but you just kind of – the kids bond so well together. Just feel like we've always been here. We've always done this. So just their personality, the way things are progressing so far this year, it's really, really made me happy. One of the things that's kind of made me upset, oh, man. You stumped me on that one.
Yeah, I had to throw one in there that might put you on your toes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's some of the small things we talk about, you know. I think one of the things we're really looking for these guys is, you know, when you've always had, like, an Anderson boy there, you've always had kind of that natural leader, right? So now it's really encouraging these guys to step to that plate and just be vocal, take that charge, you know, once you're your last go-around. But, again, up to this point, these guys have done what we have. But every once in a while, you got to kind of nudge them a little bit. But it's been great.
Feel that. And, Coach, this is my last question. This will be for you, Coach Buddy. You know, obviously, you don't seem like a – see, you're smiling right now. I never see that smile much. I was going to ask you, what player on this team makes you smile the most, even though I don't know if you even really have the capability to do so?
Oh, that's the thing. And I say this every year. Us coaches joke about it. I'm like, I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm going to be a nice guy. I'm not going to yell. And that lasted about 45 minutes in the first practice. I tell those guys, I mean, I'm going to coach them hard, you know. Pardon my French, I'm going to get in their ass, but I'm going to be the first guy to love them up. I know I'm going to coach them all hard. They may hear some things they don't want to hear, but I'm going to tell them the truth. I'm not going to lie to them. I don't sugarcoat things. I mean, that's how I was coached. You know who I played for. And that's how I do it. I don't apologize for how I do it, but those guys know, you know, I love them to death, but I'm going to be hard on them. I expect a lot out of them, and that's why I am so hard on them.
Yeah, be worried when he doesn't, you know, talk to you and that type
and,
of thing.
And that's what I tell them. I said, when I stop, you better worry because I moved on.
Yep.
And that's how I am, and you know, that's how I'll be forever.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you. I just had to get you a little humility.
Guys, Johnny and Matthew, this is a question for you. I know you guys are missing a few of your boys, but talk about, you know, working in the trenches. Like, you know, how much chemistry? You guys have a lot of chemistry, I'm assuming, and what you guys did in the off season to kind of build that chemistry?
I think the biggest thing is showing up every single day. Every single person on offensive line, we're there every day, and we're working hard every single day. And I think – go.
Me and Johnny, we've played together for our whole career. You know what I mean? We've always been next to each other. I think a lot of our young guys, we've got some young guys like Tommy and Mateo on the O-line. We also have Tim. We've been around Tim for a while. He's played a big role in our offensive line. I think we'll be good. We have a lot of chemistry, too.
We also, like, getting another year with Matt after losing him week 2 last year. We want to play ball together. That's really what we want to play together. That's the biggest thing on the offensive line this year.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys. Well, thanks a lot. Anybody else right now? Luke always has a question, I swear.
Jacob talked about building chemistry with your quarterback. I mean, running routes after practice, just hang out with him a little bit more. How do you build chemistry there?
Me and Chaz actually used to play Little League together, so, we always have had that chemistry. And just getting with him after practice with Coach Monroe, just running routes and getting used to the way he throws the ball.
And to stick with you, Jacob, have you been a part of the program for 4 years?
Yes, sir.
I mean, when I first moved out here, there were people not from this area that didn't know Spring Mills in high school. A few years later, you guys have won playoff games, you played for state championship, you have huge expectations. I mean, do you feel as though this group has really elevated the stock and the opinion of this program?
Oh, yeah. I feel like we had the same feeling that we have had when we went to the state championship. Like, we all have the same chemistry. We all bond together pretty well. And, when we're out in the field, we're inseparable.
And one more question for me. I'm sorry, guys. Chris, give me an NFL comp for you as a running back.
NFL what?
Comp. Who do you run like?
Chris McCaffrey. That's my guy.
Good answer.
Kind of look like him a little bit too. Look like him a little bit. We'll see if you can live up to those expectations. Appreciate you, fellas. Thanks a lot, coaches. At Spring Mills Cardinals, good luck the rest of good luck this season, guys. That's it for the Spring Mills Cardinals. We are going to take a short break, and after a word from our sponsors, we will have the Martinsburg Bulldogs up next.
Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
we are Home Team.
Helping people live longer, healthier lives is the heart of Purified Living 365. We're proud to serve families and businesses in Martinsburg and all the surrounding areas, because wellness starts at home with the water you drink and the air you breathe. We provide advanced water filtration systems and air purifiers designed to help protect you from everyday contaminants. Our products are backed by consumer research and delivered with the care you can trust. Purified Living 365. Locally trusted, health focused.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle with True Performance Fitness. I'm one of the owners here. True Performance Fitness as a whole, we brought this gym to the area and we wanted to bring every walk of fitness in one building. So that's exactly what we did. We have strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit. We have posing rooms, a full turf, a full track outside. We even have a basketball court. We wanted everything to be under one roof. So that's just kind of the thing that we did. We also went out and we made sure that we got top of the line equipment. We also make sure that all the pads and everything are getting replaced and all the machines are being taken care of properly. That's just something we strive to do for this community. We also like to give back to the community with donations, fundraisers, and other stuff for like kids and the families around. So that's just kind of who we are as a gym, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys.
Hey, I'm Jeremiah. And I'm Braden, and we are Brothers Bin Blasting. Your Bin Blasting All-Stars.
A unique sanitizing service begins right after your local trash collection. With a scheduled pickup time and location, we arrive promptly to clean your bins on the spot.
Our advanced 360-degree cleaning heads and pressurized water heated to over 200 degrees ensures a powerful blast blasting away 99% of all germs and bacteria. Visit our website at brosbinblasting.com and use code GETBLASTED to receive 50% off your first cleaning.
Since opening
And welcome back to the Home Team Sports Epac Media Day. We are now here with the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Coach Walker, welcome, guys. First, I'd like for you to introduce your players that you brought with you today.
All right, down here we have Boston Todd, Brian Dick, Zion Reeves, Kingston McDonald Gibson, and Ty Ricketts.
All right, Coach. First question, man. What have you been doing in the off season, man? You look swole. What's going on there? Yes.
I found the weight room. I've been working out a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love to see that.
I've said this several. I've been trying to fight Father Time, but it's not.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there. But first question, man. We'll go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Like, how long did it take you to finally get that taste out of your mouth?
It's still there.
Is it?
It's still there. It never goes away.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Coach, I'm sorry. Introduce yourself, Coach.
Coach Lynch.
Coach Lynch. Are you defensive coach, sir?
Offensive line.
Offensive line. Talk about your line, kind of what you have coming back this year, and kind of what you're looking like on that front seven.
Coming back from last year, all we have is one returning starter, and that's Zion Reeves. We had a few additions that have playing time, playing experience, but they've really started to come together as a unit. This last week and a half, 2 weeks of fall camp, they've really started to gel together, which is a big thing with you when you look at line play. You can have 5 All-Americans, but if they don't come together and play as a unit, you have 5 individuals, not one offensive line. So I think they've done a pretty good job of, gearing up, getting ready for the season.
Appreciate it, Coach. And Coach Walker, this one's for you. Obviously last season ended with a little bit of sting, but you have to be sort of proud of how your players fought back, obviously in that 28-7 hole and really just one play away from, getting another state championship underneath your belt. What do you take from last season to kind of build on that success, still hopefully able to capture another state championship this year?
Well, we started out 0-2, so we dug ourselves a real deep hole when we ran off 11 straight wins. I was really proud of the way they got better each week, and that's always something we're striving for, is to get better every day and try to get better each week, and I thought we really did that. As far as that particular day, it just wasn't a good day for us. We got out-coached. We got outplayed. We waited too long to play. I think all these guys up here played extremely well, but we just didn't do enough to get it done. And it's hard to beat a good team once. It's even harder to beat a good team twice. And we played them the first time, and I think we went in a little unprepared probably, and that's my fault. That falls on me. So I think taken from that is the fact that we needed to kind of go back and reevaluate maybe some of the things, the way we prepare each week, and just as a reminder to our guys that time is precious and you have to take care of it and don't take it for granted. And you got to have a purpose each day you go out on a field, and I think our guys have done that. I know they've done it in the winter, in the spring with the way they prepared, and now we've just got to put it together here in the fall.
Yeah, and obviously with a program such as y'all, winning is the expectation. You never want to lose, but sometimes losing is really profitable for the success of your life. And I'll kind of go to you, Brian, and Boston. Y'all were both juniors last year. Now to get another crack at it this season, what is the motivation? Everyone wants to answer for you guys to come back here and really, end your careers on the right cat, Boston.
honestly, I would just say the loss that we came out on last season. It definitely stung. Never felt that way before. Obviously, previously won 2 state championships freshman and sophomore year. So, honestly, it definitely, you feel, just like Coach Walker said, you still feel that in your chest every day that you lost on a note that you didn't want to. But, I use the 21-28 as motivation. That's what I'll say.
Brian?
Yeah, I do keep the 21-28 in the back of my head. Use it every day as motivation, try to get better, learn from it, try to get better.
Here's the thing. No one feels sorry for us.
No, I definitely don't.
We're blessed. We've won a lot of games, and, I know we probably made a lot of people happy that day. No one's feeling sorry for us, and so we're not feeling sorry for ourselves. You understand that you have to go out and prepare every day, and other teams are preparing as well. So we just, everyone's going to give us their best shot. So we just have to go out and do what we need to do.
Appreciate it. Thank you, fellas.
Coach Walker, I just got to ask you the talent on this offense. Is this some of the highest top-end talent you've ever seen from an offense put together? I think back to the first time you guys played Morgantown. There was a throw that Brian had to Boston in the back corner of the end zone. It might have been the best throw I saw all year long from any quarterback. I think of Kingston and what he's able to do and the ability for him to break long runs. Zion and his leadership on the offensive line and what's going to be a dependent-on unit once again for you guys. Ty and his versatility and what he can do as a playmaker for you. In terms of talent, as a complete offense, what do you really like out of this group the most?
Well, I think experience is key. They are talented, but I've told our guys, and they've heard me say this: the world's full of very talented, unsuccessful people. So we have to make sure we're going out. We can have all the talent in the world, but if we're not putting the work in behind it, it doesn't matter. And they have put the work in. So I do like the experience. I think we've been able to move at a little faster pace and just trying to build on what we've done before. But at the end of the day, you have to be mentally right. You have to be. There's a lot of emotion in this game. It's just as much mental as it is physical. So we have to make sure that we're not taking each day for granted and understand that we got to bring the juice every day when we come to practice. And it's all about how you practice. And everybody can have new uniforms and have all the glory or the glam, but you got to go out and prepare the right way. And what you do Monday through Thursday will determine what happens on Friday.
And Kingston, for you, it felt like every week as the season went on, we saw more carries, we saw more big runs, we saw more explosive plays from you. How's the offseason been for you? What can we expect from you this year? Could we expect potentially more volume for you this year as a rusher? And what the rushing attack overall, how do you guys look with the offensive line and you being a big part of that this year?
I feel like definitely coming off of last year, keeping that momentum and improving each week, being more efficient, more carries, more volume throughout the season, continuing to get better. And the O-line this year is looking great. I was a little nervous losing 4 starters on the O-line, but coming back, seeing how they started to mesh together, it looks great.
Coach, I don't mean to bring up any undue stress, but are you at 10 games right now? Can you talk about filling your schedule? You guys have gone international. You've gone out of the state, in the state. I mean,
we've got 9 games. I don't foresee. We were actually talking to a couple teams today, but it wouldn't work. It just didn't work out. And I'm comfortable with 9. I understand everybody wants 10. We had 9 and 23, and the way it falls, the first open date is between Bridgeport and Canisius out of Buffalo, so that's probably a good time to have an extra week, and then having one at the end of the season, get ready for postseason play. So I think the timing's right. Obviously, you'd like to be able to play another game, but sometimes rest is just as important as work.
Coach Lynch, you mentioned a number of new faces in on this offensive line. Is it a little bit different in the offense that you guys run? First, with a mobile quarterback, that you want to be able to have your line extend plays, move the pocket, but also the explosiveness of this offense. I mean, you guys just frankly have more 40, 60, 80-yard explosive plays than a lot of teams do in high school football. Does that mean you have to coach your lineup, you stay involved deeper in plays, run down the field? Is it a little bit more a different approach?
Yeah, we talk to our guys every play. You don't block the guy in front of you for 2-3 seconds. You're blocking until you hear that whistle blow. And, and it's always a deal. We talk about getting down the field and blocking, second, third level guys. We talk about, if we can get on the second level guys, great. If we end up getting on a third level guy, now we got an opportunity to bust a big run, have an explosive play. So we're always harping on those guys, keeping your motor running. Just because the ball's past you don't mean the play's over. Go find something to be busy with.
The sound you heard, I just dropped the mic. Anyway, guys, question, this is for you, Coach. You already know your depth chart, your key players. Anyone down on the depth chart that's surprising you, some player that may work their way into the starting line? Not necessarily a name, but just do you have any guys that are looking good and might come up as a start?
I mean, we've got pretty much most of our skilled guys back from last year. A couple guys, Noah Hawkman, a young man that transferred in to Jefferson, and then Brady Faircloth has come in. So we've had a couple of guys that transferred in, same with. So a couple new guys have come in that we really didn't know a lot about other than, coaching against them a little bit. They've really been great additions. They've come in, and I think it's been a change for them, and especially a lot of our young guys because we practice a little different than everybody else. But those guys have really been a good addition, and I think they have come in and meshed well and complemented each other very well.
Yeah, the young men coming in, new players coming into your system, they adapt fairly quickly?
Well, yeah, I think so. And I hope we do a decent job of teaching what we want. But at the end of the day, football's still basically running, blocking, and tackling. So if you can do that, we can teach you the terminology. So it's not a complicated game, and we try not to make it be complicated.
I guess I asked this question for Zion. So we mentioned, a lineman coming in from Hedgesville, some guys coming in from Jefferson. Do you kind of take it upon yourself to say, I'm the leader, I'm kind of the elder statesman on the line, and when these guys come in, say, hey, this is what a Bulldog offensive lineman does?
Yeah, more teaching though. Mm-hmm. More teaching and helping out so they could be on the same track as me and where we left off at kind of from last year. So
the great thing about these guys, whether it comes to each other, young guys, new guys, whatever, they lead by example, and they're great kids, great young men. They're really good players, obviously, but they're even better people, and that's the thing that we really like about our guys. I feel like they're positive and they try to lead guys in the right direction, and I think the really great teams, your leadership can come from within your own team. I think it makes things even more special and easier for coaches.
Todd, I'm going to look like an idiot if I get this wrong, but you guys do some pretty creative stuff in the red zone, right? And sometimes that means taking the ball, not snapping the ball to Brian. Can you talk about that? I mean, you guys have to have the deepest playbook in the state for plays inside the 5-yard line. What's it like to line up and do all that creative stuff?
Yeah, it's fun. Like every day, I don't know where Coach Sherman's going to put me, but I know it's going to be somewhere I can be successful at. And just our whole playbook is just full of just good stuff and stuff defenses can't cover. So I love coming in offensive practice every day and learning something new.
I got to ask you about this. I remember the first time around when you all played Morgantown, there was a sneak play for you at the goal line to get in. Do you all have a name for that specific play? It looked like a tush push almost. I think I might have called it a bulldog plunge. Is there a term you guys got for
that's it? It's bulldog plunge.
Yeah, it's bulldog plunge.
Bulldog? We've named it.
It's a little secret we got.
And Brian, for you, getting a number of new receivers into this offense, the chemistry with you and Boston have is probably some of the best in the state, if not the best. Talk about the other guys you've got to work with with receivers. Zane coming into this offense. Christian showed a lot of flashes last year as a young guy, really solid blocking especially. Talk about the guys outside of Boston, because I think a lot of people, when they see you on the schedule, they think of you two's connection. But talk about the connection with the other receivers you have too.
Yeah, I say it was Zane with. We got a good connection, especially during 7-on-7, hitting him the ball, hitting Christian the ball, spreading the ball out, hitting Taj some during 7-on-7, even during the regular season, hitting him. I think we all have a good chemistry together, all work well, block well. Everybody can just be an athlete on that team.
And Coach Walker, this one's for you. Obviously, most people would consider you the godfather of high school football in the state. I played for Coach Denny Price, and at the time he was. But when you look at your two success and what keeps you coming around, like what is it that keeps you coming back year after year and chasing more success? Because I don't know how many more rings you can fit on those fingers, my friend.
It's about the relationships you have with people. I enjoy being with these guys. These guys help keep me young. I've got a great coaching staff. We really enjoy being together, and there's not a big turnover with our guys. I mean, our staff, our players, and we take good care of our guys. But it's just we try to create a family atmosphere. And I don't know, and I've had people ask me, how much longer are you going to do this?
I asked you last year.
You did.
I'm gonna probably every year too, my friend.
Well, and here's my answer. I'm going to do it as long as I'm having fun, as long as I don't suck.
Well, I guess you're gonna be coaching forever.
If I get to where I'm not very good at it, I'll stop. I don't want to overstay my welcome.
Yeah, you're probably the Greg Popovich of high school sports in the state. So, but this will be my last one, and this one's for you, Ty. Coach Walker was speaking on how you guys practice differently there, and obviously you played at a former school before you came over to Martinsburg. What is the biggest difference you see in those practices, and how do you think that prepares you guys so well for Friday nights?
I think we just practice harder and faster than everybody else, especially coming to a new school. Like everybody, we all have talent, but if you don't use the talent, then the talent's for no reason. So just coming in and pushing each other every single day, especially during 2 days. 2 days gets really hard, but just keeping our mind focused and not losing track of what we're supposed to do.
This question's kind of and for Brian. Both you guys are obviously super competitive, and I know the ultimate goal is to win another state championship. But the both of you will probably be on the early list for Kennedy Awards. So just talk about how it is the competitiveness between the two of you, to kind of push each other to get to that point.
Iron sharpens iron. Yeah, what he said. Honestly, I'll just say iron sharpens iron. And obviously, this is my quarterback, so I don't really pay attention to those lists or whatever about those awards. But I mean, I'll see it obviously, and if I were to go into a week and I see Brian ahead of me, it wouldn't be. I'll be proud of him. That's my quarterback. I always want us to push each other, and that's how I see about that.
Yeah, it would be nice for one of us to win, but that's not the ultimate goal. Ultimate goal is to win the state championship for us. It's just not one player games. Every guy's on the team do that once.
Right.
So we want that as a goal.
Perfect. Anybody else? Here, let me pass this down.
Boston, I got to ask you this. Being someone who's played both heavily for the football team at Martinsburg and the basketball team at Martinsburg, what's it like playing with just top-level coaching? You see what you got from football. We've talked about what Coach Walker's done and that staff's been able to do. Coach Rogers and what he's been able to do and the legacy he's left on basketball in the state. The coaching you've gotten in multiple sports, just talk about the experience you've had from both those staffs and what they've left you with.
Honestly, it's just a blessing, and I'm grateful to be coached by such great coaches in high school because it's not going to do nothing but just help me out in college and the next level. So, yeah, honestly, I'll just say I'm really grateful to have the coaches that I've had along my journey.
And skill-wise for you, what do you feel like you've grown the most in from last year to this year? Winning on the outside, running routes to the inside, red zone, blocking. Is there a specific part of your game you feel like you've been able to grow the most over the offseason?
I say my route running. My route running is really my biggest.
Yeah, boss. I mean, you do got two coaches with 500 years of coaching combined between them, so that's awesome.
Well, guys, I'd like to thank the Martinsburg Bulldogs for coming in here to Epac Media Day. Fellas, appreciate it. Coaches, thanks for joining us. That's all we got for you guys. Next up will be the Jefferson Cougars. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
We have been the local hangout spot to watch a game and meet up with family and friends. With over 20 TVs, there isn't a bad seat in the house to watch every game played. Serving a full food menu ranging from appetizers to steak dinners, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week and later on weekends. Daily drink and food specials, and of course, happy hour from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday. So come on out to Bench Warmer Sports Bar and Grill and enjoy some great drinks, great food, and great atmosphere.
This is Jimmy, General Manager at Ameritech Tire and Auto, here to serve you with all your auto repair and service needs. We are a family-owned business serving our community since 2003. We work on all makes and models from vintage cars and trucks to collectors to today's latest, newest vehicles. So stop in and see us at one of our 2 locations. See you soon.
Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
we are Home Team.
Welcome to Cookies and Milk Child Care Center. We have 2 locations conveniently located in Kearneysville and Martinsburg. Our mission is to be the leading provider of higher quality care and education services for children ages 6 months to 12 years of age. We provide the highest quality child care available at an affordable cost. For more information, contact us at 304-901-2961.
The Eastern Panhandle is home to teachers and healthcare workers, farmers and fishermen, servicemen and women, golfers, bicyclists, and people who love the outdoors. Where we call home isn't any one thing, so we're not either. At Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, we are honored to help you plan a celebration of life that reflects one's individuality.
Our trusted local team is here to see that your wishes are honored and that your special story is told.
Here at the barn, we have been making dreams come true since 1972, where we help women feel their most beautiful for any occasion, from pageant, homecoming, and prom gowns to walking down the aisle in the perfect wedding gown alongside their bridesmaid and their family. Stop by to meet your stylist today to find an affordable gown, and we do offer layaway.
Buying or selling real estate? Katra Law is the local choice for real estate closings. In fact, we were honored to be chosen as the best of the best real estate closing attorneys for 2022 by the Martinsburg Journal. With offices conveniently located on Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg and South George Street in Charlestown, Katra Law proudly serves the Eastern Panhandle. Whether on the court, field, or in the classroom, we wish all of our student athletes a safe and successful.
Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
we are Home Team.
Helping people live longer, healthier lives is the heart of Purified Living 365. We're proud to serve families and businesses in Martinsburg and all the surrounding areas, because wellness starts at home with the water you drink and the air you breathe. We provide advanced water filtration systems and air purifiers designed to help protect you from everyday contaminants. Our products are backed by consumer research and delivered with the care you can trust. Purified Living 365. Locally trusted, health focused.
Juwan is the ultimate hype guy. I love him. He's always positive. He's always pepping them up and firing them up.
Come on, Parker, work, Parker, work, Parker, work, 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 work.
Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
we are Home Team.
Helping people live longer, healthier lives is the heart of Purified Living 365. We're proud to serve families and businesses in Martinsburg and all the surrounding areas because wellness starts at home with the water you drink and the air you breathe. We provide advanced water filtration systems and air purifiers designed to help protect you from everyday contaminants. Our products are backed by consumer research and delivered with the care you can trust. Purified Living 365. Locally trusted, health focused.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
And welcome back to the 2026 Home Team Sports TV Epac Media Day. We are now here joined by the Jefferson Cougars. Coach Hunter, welcome.
Thank you.
First question will be for you, Coach. I always get on you every year, not getting past the hump, past that second round of playoffs. You guys managed to do that last year, so congratulations. And you're getting inching closer. Talk about this team this year, your expectations, and where you guys look to be come playoff time.
Well, it's a little early to be talking about playoff time, but just expectations, is to continue what we did last year, to try to get back to the semifinals and then try to get over that hump now. Things have been a little, we lost a lot of kids last year, so things have been a little, stressful. It's trying to replace those kids, get them in the right positions. Dealt with some little bit of minor camp injuries, things of that nature, but I think we're in the right trajectory going on to the season. We got a scrimmage Saturday, so we'll be able to evaluate a little bit on Saturday, see how things go. And from that point on, we'll start to evaluate for the next scrimmage to get ready for spring meetings.
So you guys lost, again, a lot of speed, but talk about what you guys have coming back this year at the skill positions.
We have a lot of kids who played last year. Carson Olerking played last year, receiver. Jaheim Gidney played a lot of defense last year. He could have played offense, but, we chose to use him on defense more, keep him rested. But Jaheim Gidney is going to be a good thing for us this year on offense. He's got speed. He's got shiftiness. Andy Roberts, once again, we're in a situation we're trying to figure out the man who's going to call the signal. So we have, Harrison Garrett, Bray Holmes, and Andy Roberts all sitting back there right now. Like I told them, we're going to make an evaluation after the first scrimmage, and we'll move from there of who's going to be leading the way after Saturday. So, but if that's the case, Andy can play running back. We saw him late in the season. He's got some speed. The addition of Kenyon Brooks is going to help us out. So, we got some speed out there still, just not the names that y'all used to hearing with speed.
Yeah, would you go ahead and introduce the guys you have up on stage with you too, Coach?
On my far right, Eli Weaver. Next to him is Jaheim Gidney, Andy Roberts, Harry Garrett, Carson Olerking, Frank Turk, and Chase Weaver.
Perfect. Appreciate you, Coach. And, again, this kind of is going to be a little bit of a flashback from last year. Obviously, it's a whole new season. But, you started out, with an 0-4 hole last year, even though you still ended up making all the way to the semifinals. How are you going to kind of prevent yourself and your team from getting into that hole again to really be battling back throughout the whole season? How are you going to get started on the right foot this year?
It's hard to answer that question or not.
What do you think you need to do, though, to avoid kind of that start?
I'd say, honestly, just make sure as coaches we make some right decisions. I feel like that maybe there were some decisions as coaches that we didn't make enough sooner in the season that could have pushed us forward a lot faster. But I think we're going to hopefully be in a better situation as far as that goes, making those decisions. So I'm hoping that's going to be a better chance for us to at least start off with a better record than 0-4. Nobody wants to start off 0-4. Trust me. If I had hair, I'd have pulled it all out. So.
Start yanking at that beard, Coach.
Yeah.
But Andy, this won't be for you. Obviously this is going to be your third year within the program, and your first time as an upperclassman. What do you think the biggest growth in your game is from your freshman year to now?
Growth, I would have to say defense, because that's what I've played. I haven't played much offense, but this year I have to show what I can do for offense. But I'm still going to focus on defense. I might play a little bit of safety, but more middle linebacker between those two. But offense, like he said, quarterback, mostly running back, and yeah.
Perfect. Coach, obviously he takes people's heads off on the defensive side of the ball, but you run like a man possessed offensively too. So, Coach, again, this will be my last question for you before we move forward. What will you define as success for this season, regardless of the wins and losses?
I would say pretty much just I tell them all the time we just need to get better. We're not talking about wins and losses. We need to grow as a team, as young men. Just need to grow, get better every day. Every day is an opportunity for us to get better, and we just need to continue to get better. If we do that on a daily basis, we'll put ourselves in positions to be where we need to be at the end of it.
Schematically, Coach, what can we expect from you this year on offense and on defense? Offensively, we've seen you throw the ball a lot in the Sammy years. We've seen this team run the ball a lot in the Tayshaun years. Are we going to see some happy medium between that, one way or another? And then defensively, how much pressure are we going to see on defense? And what could we expect on both sides of the ball for you guys this year?
I would say offensively, you're going to see it's going to dictate what we see. So it's always going to be what the defense gives us. You're going to take what the defense gives you. If one game dictates that we need to run the ball, then we'll run the ball. One game needs to say we need to get the ball out to John, out to Carson, Frank, and Kenyon on the outsides. Then that's what we'll do, based on what they can do with the ball and some of their speed and shiftiness. Then that's what we'll do. I've never been a person that's going to say, well, we're going to be a run the ball, but we'll go in there and run the ball and they got 8 in the box. Granted, you got to be able to run the ball in tough situations like that, but numbers tell you 9 times out of 10 you shouldn't be running the ball with 8, 9 in the box. You should be trying to throw the ball. So we're going to look whatever the numbers dictate to us and whatever the flow of the game is going. That's how we're going to try to go with that. Defensively, we're going to run the same schemes we ran last year. We want to get after it a little bit more. Seeing what we've done, we've always been a little bit undersized, so we want to get after it. Probably put pressure on people. Pressure either cracks pipes or makes diamonds. So that's what we're going to figure out if we can crack some pipes. So that's what we're going to do defensively.
And that quarterback position, I know you mentioned ongoing competition, waiting to see who's going to emerge. The room as a whole, for those 3 main guys you mentioned, what have you liked the most out of that group? You can mention specifically one trait about one of those guys, or as the group as a whole, what have you liked, what you've seen from that group so far?
They have strong competitiveness between them, but they're not. There's no animosity between them, so they're still team oriented in that whole dynamic of what's going on. So they're kind of still, if one needed help, they would help each other out. If they asked each other a question, they would help each other out instead of trying to shun each other because they're in a competition room for that. I've tried to be very honest and upfront with what's going on with this whole situation, that we want to give them try to give them as equal amount of time as possible. We'll talk it through. We're not going to make any decision until after this first scrimmage on Saturday, and then we'll push forward from there.
Coach, the recent success of this program, and the build up to it over time. As you look back over your first 2 years at Jefferson, do you think the success has led to more kids coming out? Are you not chasing guys through the hallways as much as when you first got hired? Have you seen more interest and more kids coming out for this program as there's been more success?
I would say it's been weird. I mean, it's been weird. I mean, the first year, we came out, wound up going 5-5, just missed the playoffs. It was a win or go home game against Washington. We lost that game. Came back the next year, was in the playoffs, and I think we're in the playoffs the next couple of years. And then after that, it was like, for some reason, there was a whole bunch of things that happened. It was like an anomaly. Like, we had a whole bunch of kids that some kids didn't come out, some kids weren't eligible. So, and then that turned into a lull of where we had some bad seasons. Then COVID hit, the COVID season hit, and then you're trying to push to get kids back out. The good thing is I had good connections with the kids at Wildwood and Harpers Ferry, and I think that's when JD could tell you that's when his son came in, Spencer came in, Sammy started to come in, and then it started to build again from there. And from that point on, it's just kept building from there. And we haven't really had a problem with kids coming out. Success breeds success. So there are two folds to that. I always say, when you have success, kids come out and play, and when you don't have success, people that think they want to be attached to it, so they come out and play. When you're not doing well, it's the same thing. I think when you're not doing well, some kids don't play, but some kids think, well, they're not that good, so I can play too. So it goes both ways. So, but I think in these last couple of years, we've seen kids come out, kids gravitate toward the program because of the success we've had.
For Carson and Frank, we're talking about a quarterback battle. What's that kind of like from a receiver point of view as you guys try to get ready for the season? Is it something that throws you off a little bit that you've got three different guys or even more that are rotating in and throwing you the ball, or is it not really something that you think much about?
Nah, I say getting reps with both of them, just be comfortable with both of them, especially in the season. Anything could happen. So whether we start with one, start with the other, we might see both of them in there. So getting comfortable and pushing them just to be their best in practice, that also helps too.
Like he said, we had to be comfortable with both QBs, get familiar with both of them because three, just to get comfortable with them and just having good chemistry with them overall.
Since I talked with you previously, I'm going to defer back to my colleagues.
Okay. We got the two linemen here on the end, right? We're talking to Eli and Chase. Let's start with you. I mean, just talk a little bit about this group. I know that you guys have had some turnovers. Some guys have left the program. I'm imagining that you guys are here because you're leaders of the offensive line. What do you think about this group and how they're gelling?
I believe the group we have now is we just need to get more aggressive on the line and learn the plays. But I feel like when we get that down, we'll have a pretty good squad.
Yeah, I feel comfortable with them. Just like he said, get more aggressive. But we got a couple more guys that came in. They did pretty good. So I think we'll be good overall.
Jaheim, defensively, what can we expect from you? You're going to be someone who lines up a lot outside of the numbers, playing on the boundary. We're going to see you inside of the numbers, maybe guarding in the slot a little bit. And then offensively, kind of the same type of thing. Outside, inside, what can we expect from your play style on both sides of the ball this year?
You're going to see me everywhere. You're going to see me all over the field. Defense, I'm going to try to guard their best wide receiver. I'm going to be on their best wide receiver probably. I'm playing corner right now. Offensively, I'm going to be in the slot more. And, yeah.
So you're just going to follow the top receiver and just go with them across the formation?
I mean, if that's the case, yeah. But I feel like the guys we have right now, I feel like we don't even need to do that. We can just stay in our regular position and just play ball.
And Coach, just real quick for you, obviously, the defensive coordinator has changed for you again this year with no Coach Phil. What is going to be different about your guys' front four? Because, again, last year I feel like that was such a huge strength for you guys, even with the injury bug that bit you. Is anything going to change kind of schematically, defensively, or are you guys going to really stick with the principles you created from last year?
We're going to basically stick with the principles we created last year. You know, Phil's gone. Phil did a lot of great things for us. He came in with the scheme of what he did. He did some tweaks to it, but the scheme of what he put in was pretty much my scheme. I just gave him the freedom to tweak it and do whatever he wanted to do with it, and that's what he did. He turned it into what it was, based on what his knowledge was, what he wanted to do blitzing-wise, what he wanted to do as far as things go. So with that being said, you know, with him gone and the scheme pretty much being a little bit my scheme, I'll go back.
Very similar, yeah.
I'll go back to calling the defense. So I just turned the offense over to Coach Rockwell and Sammy. So those two will call the offense, and I'll go back to calling the defense. So up front, you know, we're going to be pretty much, you know, some more guys will have to play both ways.
Right.
So that means they want to be in shape. So as like they said, a couple guys came out a little late, so they're still getting into things. They will be able to actually start going full go tomorrow, right before the scrimmage. So we'll give them a chance to be able to evaluate them first off. So if those guys pan out what we think they can do, that'll give us some more depth to where some of these guys can get breaks and blows, and we can probably try to do some of the things we were able to do last year schematically, defensively, up front.
Yeah, for sure. And just real quick, which do you prefer calling? Do you prefer calling offense or the defensive side of the ball?
It's weird because, you know, when you do something for so long, you got to go back and call the defense. I always thought the defense was kind of you still watch film, you still get tendencies of what they do, but I feel like defense is kind of a feel. So you feel, you read and react, you see what they're going to do, you kind of wait and see what's going to happen. A lot of people, even if you see us, if you've seen Phil, even if you've seen Martinsburg with Coach Hash with the hey, sometimes you wait to see what the offense comes out in before you even make your call defensively. You might give your base call, but then you see what they come out in, and you give a feel what you think they're going to do, what kind of blitz, what kind of scheme you're going to run after that. So, you know, I would have to say I kind of like the offense a little bit more, and defense is fun. I mean, defense is fun. You can get fired up with defense, and it's fun being aggressive, getting after people, and it really gets to show. Offense, I'm kind of laid back. Defense, it'll get to show my more aggressive side, which they don't like to see a lot of, but it gets to show my more aggressive side.
Coach, talking about Andy, this is for you. Coach talking about defense is fun. I think you would agree with him since you've been primarily on that side of the ball. But transitioning a little bit more to the offensive side, kind of where do you see? He's talked about you kind of being in that mix with quarterback. Would you prefer kind of being under center, or would you rather see yourself, toting the rock?
I would like to stick with running back, but if I have to play quarterback, I could do both. But running back, I can get to hit people, so that's kind of my thing.
Well, coach got to keep you healthy. I know what Hunter's thinking. He's like, man, you want to have that attitude, we're going to have to pull you early in the season.
I'm more towards running back than quarterback for right now, so that's kind of what I'm heading towards.
This question's for Ja. Ja, Coach mentioned earlier that you probably should have been on the offensive side of the ball a little more last year. How excited are you to finally get the opportunity to show everybody what you can do? Because we were pretty excited for the few opportunities that you got. I remember watching you in middle school making some plays in the slot. And also we'll talk about the receiving corps this year. Several new faces, including yourself. So how's that kind of taking shape this year?
I'm just excited, man. I'm just ready to go. I want to get my name out to more people across the state, everywhere, so I'm just ready to go. Ready.
Awesome, man. Anybody else? All right. Of course you do.
So to kind of put a bow on this conversation about quarterbacks, Harrison, start with yourself, and then just kind of transition to Andy and Bray, what you do well as a thrower, and then what you think they do as well.
That's kind of hard because we all, like he said, we all have our strengths. Myself, I think I'm a little quicker. I can get out the pocket. Bray's got a pretty strong arm. He can sling the rock, and then Andy can just kind of do it all, and he's just a heavy runner too. So if he gets back there, even at running back, he'll be pretty good.
Can you talk about, I guess, maybe the psychology behind, obviously you're sitting next to Andy, you get along pretty well, I'm sure you guys are buddies, but also you want to try to take his job, he wants to take your job, Bray wants to take your guys' job. how do you kind of wrestle with, these are my buddies, but we're also competing against each other?
I think in practice, the three of us, like, we'll help each other, but we also, like, tend to, I don't know the right word, like, we have, like, good competition. It's like we try to compete against each other, make each other better, so whoever does end up being the quarterback is pretty squared away.
And Coach, I wanted to ask you more about figuring out quarterback. That's something that's been a little recurrent for you over the past couple of years of trying to find quarterback. I know there's been battles in camp before. I know there's been switches in the mid-season, but it's worked out for you guys. Has that become something that over time has become easier to deal with? I know it's difficult to ask that.
I would say from the time I started coaching here, I've always had per se a quarterback and then a quarterback in waiting. So I had Andrew King, and waiting was Isaac Myers. I went from Isaac Myers, then I went to Corbin Pearson. I went from Corbin Pearson, then I went to Dylan Herrick. So then Sammy Roberts. Then from Sammy Roberts to Dylan Herrick. From Dylan Herrick, from that point on, that's when it became a little iffy. Not really having anybody who might have been 100% ready. I feel like Harrison has been waiting in the wings, playing a little bit of JV ball. There's some things we saw in him. Bray came over last year. Unfortunately, Bray came in. He had an injury last year and couldn't even do anything really until like September. So that kind of put him behind the 8 ball. And then, Andy said he'd rather play running back. I think, Andy's not going to say it, but I'll say it out here. I think Andy wants to play running back because he can also notch a name for himself and not live in Sammy's shadow as being the quarterback. He's notched a name for himself as linebacker and as a hard-running running back. And even we made a decision to throw Andy in the mix, I had to have a conversation with Andy about, hey, listen, I need you, if you are playing quarterback, I need you to step out of bounds. He's like, Coach, I don't think I'll be able to do that. So,
Good luck.
Each of them have their own qualities, and all of them have their good qualities, and all of them have their negative qualities they need to work on. It's never something I want to go into every year is trying to find a quarterback. You don't want to go into that. You'd rather have a kid that you're preparing either on the JV level or the backup role to understand everything. So when you hit next year, you hit the ground running instead of going through what we're going through now is making sure everybody has equal amount of time. It takes a lot of practice time to find out that equal balance of time for kids to get in practice. And then if you happen to miss something or miss somebody getting reps because something ran over or because I stop a play, like I had to tell somebody today, they might not have got the same reps because I had to stop plays and go over stuff that we were messing up on, which shortens down reps because we're on a time frame with their reps. So it's a time frame instead of a number of plays because we got to be off the field a certain amount of time. So, that happens a lot too. So it makes it hard managing that when it's 3 instead of 2. So, but no, I don't want to do this. No.
Andy, I got to ask you about the hair. Are we expecting that all year long? I thought I overheard you say baseball, right?
Yeah.
Are we expecting that full year long? Is there a mark you're going to hit and you go different hairstyles?
Are you the real Slim Shady?
I am the real Slim Shady, yeah. But I don't know.
Day by day. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Coach, and thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. That's the Jefferson Cougars, and we are going to take a quick commercial break. And next up, we will have the Musselman Appleman, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
Here at Home Team Sports TV, we're here to highlight our local businesses and our student athletes and put them on a path to success. Through our social media platforms and our live event production, we look to shine a light on our local community and our talent from our student athletes.
Home Team Sports TV is more than a brand, it's a movement. We're combining creativity, innovations, and smart solutions for companies of all sizes. With unmatched dedication and community focus, we're proving that the right exposure can lead to a successful future.
And remember,
we are Home Team.
Helping people live longer, healthier lives is the heart of Purified Living 365. We're proud to serve families and businesses in Martinsburg and all the surrounding areas because wellness starts at home with the water you drink and the air you breathe. We provide advanced water filtration systems and air purifiers designed to help protect you from everyday contaminants. Our products are backed by consumer research and delivered with the care you can trust. Purified Living 365. Locally trusted, health focused.
Adventure takes you here, but much of it starts right here in West Virginia, where Toyota has lived alongside hardworking West Virginians for over 25 years, investing over $2 billion in the Buffalo manufacturing plant and bringing in over 2,000 jobs. And that helps fuel the local economy. Thanks for making Toyota the #1 selling brand in West Virginia. See your dealer and start your adventure today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle with True Performance Fitness. I'm one of the owners here. True Performance Fitness as a whole, we brought this gym to the area and we wanted to bring every walk of fitness in one building. So that's exactly what we did. We have strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit. We have posing rooms, a full turf, a full track outside. We even have a basketball court. We wanted everything to be under one roof. So that's just kind of the thing that we did. We also went out and we made sure that we got top of the line equipment. We also make sure that all the pads and everything are getting replaced and all the machines are being taken care of properly. That's just something we strive to do for this community. We also like to give back to the community with donations, fundraisers, and other stuff for like kids and the families around. So that's just kind of who we are as a gym, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys.
Hey, I'm Jeremiah. And I'm Braden, and we are Brothers Bin Blasting. Your Bin Blasting All-Stars.
A unique sanitizing service begins right after your local trash collection. With a scheduled pickup time and location, we arrive promptly to clean your bins on the spot.
Our advanced 360-degree cleaning heads and pressurized water heated to over 200 degrees ensures a powerful blast blasting away 99% of all germs and bacteria. Visit our website at brosbinblasting.com and use code GETBLASTED to receive 50% off your first cleaning.
Since opening in 2017, we have been the local hangout spot to watch a game and meet up with family and friends. With over 20 TVs, there isn't a bad seat in the house to watch every game played. Serving a full food menu ranging from appetizers to steak dinners, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week and later on weekends. Daily drink and food specials, and of course, happy hour from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday. So come on out to Benchwarmer Sports Bar and Grill and enjoy some great drinks, great food, and great atmosphere.
This is Jimmy, General.
And welcome back to the 2026 Home Team Sports Epac Media Day. We're now joined by Musselman, Appleman, coached by Brian Thomas, Coach Wes Smith. Appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Coach, expectations are always high every single year. Last year, you guys made it to the first round, lost. Kind of talk about this year, what you guys have been doing in the off season to kind of get yourself past that point, and what your expectations are going to be for the season.
I think we started our off-season training a little bit earlier this year. I think in years past we waited a little bit and had some time off, which we had a little bit of time off this year, but we really kind of hit the ground running. We've done kind of some different things. Obviously we've been in the weight room. We've been working hard with that aspect. We've also been watching a lot of film in the off-season, just trying to become more football smart, which I think will help us. We have a really smart football team. Last year, our team GPA was a 3.41, so That was an average. So we have a lot of really smart kids. So we've been kind of working on that football IQ a little bit. We've also been talking about a lot of like little detail stuff, like leadership things, and working on kind of just like the team pulse in general, which I think will really help.
Coach West, talk about how the defense is kind of taking shape this year and where you guys, kind of look to be.
We're replacing a lot of guys from last year, but we're replacing them with a lot of guys that are very capable to step in and play right away and produce. I think our guys last year had a good feel by the end of the year of how I want to play defense at Musselman. I think our guys this year are a lot further ahead right now at this point in August than where we were last August, because we were still learning what the scheme was, learning how to line up, learning the verbiage, the terminology, coverages, things of that nature. So I expect us, even though we are going to replace guys like Colton Shelton and Josh Armentrout, that we're going to pick right up where we left off, and I expect us to get better from where we were last year.
Thank you, Coach. And one thing, Coach Thomas, I just wanted you to go down the line and introduce all your fellows.
Yes, at the end, that's Damari Pearson. He's a junior, defensive end and tight end. Next to him is Greg Mathis. Greg's a senior, defensive back and running back. Next to him is Hunter James. Hunter's a junior, linebacker. He's one of our blocking backs, like a fullback. Next to him is Aiden Cornell. He will also be a junior. He plays in the backfield. He's one of our running backs, and he's also our strong safety. And then next to me is Evan Clark. Evan's a senior, and he's an offensive lineman for us.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach. And again, I see your face a good bit in the shop. Same thing with you, Coach West. And obviously, you're looking at it now. It's been about 13 years since you took over the head coaching job. What do you think is the biggest difference in terms of not necessarily the talent, but the kids that you see day in and out from 2014 to now 2026?
I mean, I think kids these days compared to, like you said, 13, 14 years ago, I think they go through different struggles, really. I think I could get on a big rant here about social media. I think the cell phones, I think social media, I think kids have so many outside distractions. I think one of the hardest parts about being a coach in general is you work hard to develop that team. And then sometimes just all kids in general, they can walk down the hall, they can go about their day, and then, somebody says, oh man, your team's not, you come off a big loss, and one person tells them like, man, we thought you guys were better than that. And then that sense of doubt kind of creeps in a little bit. I think we as coaches battle that. I think kids battle that as well. So I'd probably say that's the biggest difference. You just really got to work hard on through your highs and through your lows, and every team, every season has highs and lows. You really got to work hard to keep your team together.
For sure. And, Coach, you speak on those highs and those lows. Just less than 3 seasons ago, you started off the season with less than, I believe, only 31 guys were on your official roster on the opening kickoff, and now you look at your team with, almost about half of that and seniors and so veteran-laden this year. Obviously you lost a couple of your guys, and that's hard to replace. But what do you think your team's identity is going to be this year, really, in the way I look at it, year 3 of a 5-year plan to kind of build back the program?
Well, we had 94, to kind of go through your numbers, and I'm a numbers guy because I'm a math guy. We had 94 kids on our roster right now, and that's 8th grade through senior, because 8th graders can play freshman football. So we had 94 kids currently on our roster. Now, I will say this, we only have 6 seniors, so our senior class isn't that big. So, you kind of said something about being a veteran team. We're actually a really young team. But, having said that, I think the strength is in the numbers. You're able, when you have that many kids come out, you're able to have depth. Like you mentioned a couple years ago, only having 31 kids, about 12 or 13 were playing the entire game. I counted up last night when I was going through the roster at home, and between me and Coach Smith, we have about 23 kids right now that if our game was tomorrow, that would play significant roles on a Friday night. So to me, that's really, really good. I think a lot of it, though, you want to build a program up. I do believe there's sense in, these guys from such a young age. I've known Evan. I don't know. I love Evan. Evan's awesome, man. And I've known Evan. We've had a great relationship since he was a freshman. Probably before that, man. He made the comment this summer at our youth camp. He's like, remember when I was out there at the youth camp? So I've known Evan. And you get to know these guys and you build that up. And I think that really not just us, anybody. That's how you build a program.
We've heard coaches tonight talk about their trenches, specifically on the offensive side, looking to fill in gaps, looking to fill in places. Arguably, your team might be the strongest entering in the season in terms of returners in the trenches. 4 out of 5 starters are back. Talk about the benefit that is for you guys wanting to be able to establish the run, being able to protect whoever is going to throw the football for you, the strength in you guys in the trenches, specifically with Evan, who's going to captain that line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, we are a ground and pound run first team. You know, that's just our identity. When I was an assistant coach at Musselman, when I started off, this is my 20th year at Musselman. That's crazy. When I started off 20 years ago, that was our identity. That was the identity that Coach Price had before me, and that's the identity I've tried to carry over. So we believe in the trenches big time. We return, you know, you mentioned, you know, all the guys that we return. Really, we started about 8 linemen last year, about 7 or 8 linemen, you know, throughout various points of the season. And we only lost one of those guys. We had one guy graduate. So, you know, everybody that we get back up front is a starter and has played up front and has played in meaningful games for us. You know, Evan, like you mentioned, Evan's played more than anybody. Evan will be a 3-year starter for us. So, you know, got a lot of faith in him. You know, he's our most consistent lineman. You know, I've been around him for so many years that I know what he's going to give you on a day in and day out basis. But yeah, we're really going to lean on our big boys up front.
And Evan, for you, being tasked as responsible to be the guy to go to for people on that offensive line, what's it been like for you? How's your offseason been so far? And what can we expect from a group that, for the most part, is returning all its pieces from a year ago?
Our off season's been really good. As a role for me personally, leadership has really been big this all season. But just like going on from what you're saying, like coming back as that starter, and it kind of plays a big role in your head, knowing that you need to be the bigger person and you need to step up and play your game the way it should be played. But that's the most thing I've been working on, is just that, consistent.
And the juxtaposition of the experience of the line coach is some younger guys at the skill position, and obviously you guys run a pretty unique offensive scheme. Does that take time to adjust? And as we were talking today, I mean, it sounds like you're going to give carries to a lot of different guys. I mean, is it kind of hard to get that many ball carriers and receivers ready for week 1?
You know, you mentioned some of those young guys. The good thing with you know, we even have, you know, we have a couple freshmen in the mix right now, but they were both on our freshmen. They both played freshman football last year as an 8th grader. So, you know, that kind of goes back to what I said earlier. Everybody that we're going to give the ball to this year that I think has a chance to get the ball on a Friday night, they're all guys that have now been in our system for multiple years. So like Coach Smith said earlier, you know, he feels like the defense is farther along, which we are. You know, it's the same thing offensively. You know, we're a lot farther along because we've had guys in the program for so many years. You know, as far as, like you asked about getting the guys reps, a lot of that is just, you know, us as coaches. You know, there's many nights that my wife will say, like, you know, hey, you know, shouldn't you get to bed? Aren't you tired? And I'm sitting there scripting out what I want to do tomorrow at practice, or I'm sitting there watching film. So, you know, that's really up to us as coaches, is to sit there and say, you know, how can I make sure that everybody is ready and everybody knows what we're doing? And our kids do a good job of that too. You know, like we talked about earlier, being so smart. You know, we can move. You know, Aiden's a good example right here. I have 100% with Aiden that I can put him at any skill position offensively, and he's going to know exactly what we're doing. So we have guys like that really know the offense and understand the attack.
Coach Smith, is that the strength and conditioning coach next to you there?
Yeah.
I was talking to Coach Thomas a little about you today. Spent some time coaching in the state, outside the state, wanting to come back home. What is it about West Virginia high school football? What is it specifically about being a Musselman Appleman that made you want to come back and continue to be a part of this program?
I mean, the program means so much to me because I fell in love with football through Musselman football. You know, as an 8 or 9-year-old, my dad started taking me to football games at Musselman because he's a Musselman alum, and he went to games nonstop his entire life. And in those 2 years, there were 1998, 1999, we were talking, that's like the Todd Mosby era of Musselman football, you know, where the best player in the state, some of the best linemen in the state, some of the best teams that have ever been at Musselman were during those first couple of years that I really got introduced to football and started playing myself. So, that's something that we tell these guys. Like, my heroes growing up weren't the NFL players or the college players. It was Todd Mosby, Dwayne Robinson. It was the guys that played at Musselman, the guys that I couldn't wait to get out of school on Friday to go watch. And I've always wanted to come back and coach at Musselman. And obviously, that's what I did, after I graduated college. And then, having the opportunity to go and try to, better myself as a coach and get out of my comfort zone and go to Florida, which obviously is a place where football is king. Definitely grew while I was down there. I feel that I'm a better coach now than what I was 3 years ago, or however long it's been since I left. And just knowing that this place is home to me, it just means more. It's entrenched in me. I've coached in 7A state semifinals in Florida. Last year, our first game of the season against University, I was probably more juiced up for that game than what I was playing in a game like that. It just is what it is. It's when it's something that's really inside of you, it's going to mean more.
I know there will be variation in both situations. What is going to be your base set on offense and your defense? Again, I know there will be variations.
Offensively, we kind of base out of a single wing. When we kind of went to this system a couple of years ago, I talked to different coaches, and I still do. I still try to grow. We're doing different stuff this year than we did 3 years ago, but it's really single wing principles. We like to call it more of a hybrid single wing just because we have spread concepts built in as well, and different things that we can do. So we've really kind of taken some things and branched off of that. Coach Smith will talk defensively a little bit, but our base is really a 4-2-5 is really what he believes in.
Yeah, we'll be an even front. We call it a 4-2-5, but to me, lining up the different formations on the field, you're not necessarily going to look like a 4-2. We're an even front defense that has the ability to drop one of our defensive linemen and get into odd fronts. This year you'll probably see us pressure a little bit more than we have in years past, because I think that's the kind of kids that we have. Guys that might be, by some stretches maybe a little light in some spots, but we're going to be really aggressive and we're going to get after people. But when you see us throughout our scrimmages here in the next few weeks, our base defense will be a 4-2, and then it'll morph from there.
Well, guys, let me ask this question specifically to Aiden and Damari. You got to hear Coach Smith and Coach Thomas talk about the history of Musselman football and the great players that have come through this program. And when I recently think about Musselman football, Damari, I think about Troy Williston and Trevon Wesco at the tight end position. And Aiden, I think about Hartman or Alazier in the backfield. So, Aiden, I guess I'll start with you. I mean, do you kind of feel that Appleman tradition? I know you're one of several running backs, but being a running back for the Musselman Appleman is a pretty big deal. Is that something that means a lot to you?
Yes, sir. It's I love the tradition Musselman brings. It's like it's more of a family here, and it's great to be here. Like, everybody wants to work, and everybody's always just after it all the time, and just ground and pound. That's just love it.
And Damari, I mean, guys that have played your position are playing in the NFL, or played in the NFL, or playing in college. I mean, is it kind of special putting on the Kelly green and thinking about you're sharing that position with so many great players that have come before you?
Yeah, I think it's special, and this is my first year playing at the position, but I think I fit in pretty good there. It was out of my comfort zone at first because it was new to me, but after repping multiple times in the off season, I think I've gotten really good hang of it, and I'm ready to work at that position.
Hunter, you're stepping into a position that was held down by Deshaun Lewis last year primarily, being that primary blocker in the single wing, but someone who has the ability to take carries. What has it been like off-season training-wise for you settling into that position, knowing that probably more of a blocker than a runner in the scheme, but playing an important role, being sometimes a lead blocker for running backs out of the backfield and the ability for you to get carries as well?
So with the B-back position, I didn't start too long ago. Like, I think about a week ago, I started really getting good reps in the position. And at the position, it's just very, you gotta think a lot. You gotta think about which backer you have, what you're doing, you're kicking, you're leading, and it's just a very big job to have for the offense. And it's just, I know I'm capable of doing it, so I'm going to give my full effort always to do that position.
And Greg, getting the ability to have a bigger role this year as someone on the outside who can motion to the inside, be able to get carries, be able to catch passes on the outside. What is the bigger opening of opportunity meant for you this offseason, and what's prep for you to get into the season?
I mean, I just I'll do whatever it takes to win, score. Like, I'll play any position. Like, if I gotta run a route, if I gotta run the ball, if I gotta throw, I'll do whatever.
And this one, this is for Hunter and Aiden. First of all, Hunter, I like your haircut too, by the way. I
Appreciate
think you got a really good barber. And Aiden, I got to grow up with you. I personally, lived in the same neighborhood. What is, for both of you guys, whoever wants to answer first, what does it mean to put on that muscle uniform? Because again, when I was a kid, that was everything to me. Same with Coach Smith. But what does it mean to both of you guys to be able to play on Fridays and realize you're kind of the hero of the community?
So growing up, obviously, most kids, if you're in that area, you're always looking up to kids like us, the older kids on the varsity team, and you always just want to be that kid. And then when you're in the shoes of them kids, you're just like, you got people watching you, and you know this, but you just need to be focused on the main goal of winning the game and giving full effort for your team and for yourself. And it feels good to carry on the tradition of the team and just have people watching you always.
Like you said, it means everything. Like, I remember back in Little League, you used to hear stories about Hartman, and like he was everybody to you. Like, that was like the person you looked up to the most. I loved going to watch him run the ball. I wanted to be just like him. And then last year, for example, Nate Lazier, still I was on the team, but I want to be just like him. Like, run hard all the time, and even if I'm not getting the ball, blocking, be a team player for everybody else.
This question is for Evan. Evan, how much pride, with this team being primarily a run-focused team, how much pride do you take in digging in the trenches and just have at it with the man in front of you and just going all out?
It's a lot, man. It's when you get up to that line, I do every play like I'm about to kill somebody, like I'm about to murder somebody, and you just gotta. It's just one of the things you gotta click through your head and make it a habit, and it becomes a good habit. And if you keep doing it, and like the pride you said, like it's not just me. You got guys like Deacon and Teddy and all them other big guys. When you become as one unit, it's game over. There's nothing you can do to stop us. When we come as one unit, there's nothing you can do.
Perfectly said, man. And one last thing for Coach Thomas. With that said, Coach, we did see you open up a few games last year throwing the football. Were we going to see a little more of that this year, you think, or what?
Well, I mean, I think sometimes as a play caller, you got to be smart about when you're going to do it and what you're going to do. The thing that last year that helped us out is I think as a play caller, I'm not trying to fool the coach on the opposite sideline. You have to try to deceive and trick the 16 or 17-year-old kid that you guys are going against. So you want to be kind of our offense is a little bit deceptive, and we try to be unique and different. At the same time, if you can kind of pick that right time when you're hitting one over the top and you can capitalize on it, it can be pretty big. So to me, especially with the group that we have this year. I don't think it's so much about the quantity of how many times you throw the ball. It's more so the quality. If we throw the ball 7 times a game, but we could be high accuracy and complete 5 of them, and all 5 of them have 25-yard gains, well, that's 125 yards in the passing game. So I don't think you're going to see us chuck the ball around a lot, but at the same time, I think you're going to be surprised with how well we're able to do stuff in certain situations.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Anybody else?
Coach Thomas, I want to take you back to September 12th of last year. And that was when you all went to Wheeling Island Stadium, beat Wheeling Park, and that win for you guys, what did that mean to that program at the time and where it is right now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Nobody's asked me that question. It was very emotional. You know, a lot for, I think, for some of my coaches, my assistant coaches, and for some of our kids. You know, you rewind that back even farther. We played Wheeling Park in the playoff game 2 years ago, and they rolled us. You know, they were a lot better than us. And I think that game really kind of showed you the growth from the 1 year to the next. You know, I got an amazing coaching staff. You know, it's, you know, obviously Coach Smith heads it up. I got a really good offensive line coach, Dennis Burlingame, Matt Price. We got a lot of really good coaches in our room. And those guys we went through those pains and those lows. And then to be able to come out last year, and we had a really good game plan. Coach Smith knows this answer. How many plays did you defend in the second half? You knew
only 2 drives.
Yeah.
So it might have been, I don't know, 9 plays.
Yeah, they only had 2 drives. Wheeling Park only had 2 drives in the second half. So, you know, we were able to come in as the coaches and say, you know, we saw, you knew that running back they had, that Brennan Wack, was amazing.
Yeah, talented guy.
Let's keep the ball out of his hands. And I remember my offensive line coach talks about this all the time. We had like a 15-play drive at the end of the third quarter to start the fourth quarter, and we had one where we caught them on a hard count. It was like 3rd and 2, and we hard counted them, and they jumped off sides, and we got the first down. And our kids acted like it was right on our sidelines, and they acted like we just won the state championship. Like, we were so excited. And Wheeling Park's kids, just you could see they were so deflated, and we were like, man, like we got them. And I just think that shows you how much we grew. But at the same time, you know, we talked to the kids a lot this year about we want to grow even more than that. You know, we want to be even better than that.
And on top of that, I know focus is on the week 1 opponent for you guys, but in your mind, has there been something really special that's built between this team playing Wheeling Park over the past few years? You go back to the playoffs when Baden and that group beat Wheeling Park, when Tank Hawkins was on that Wheeling Park roster. You go back a number of years, and the matchups that you guys have had last year specifically, it always seems like it's a good time when you and Coach Doc face off against each other.
Yeah, Coach Doc's a good friend of mine. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a really, really good coach. You know, since I've been the head coach at Musselman, I'd probably say the 2 most intense games that we've had over the years, just overall the years, have been either Wheeling Park or Morgantown. We've had some battles with Morgantown too. But yeah, we've had some really good games with Wheeling Park. You know, we've seen them in the playoffs a couple times and battled them. You know, we've had a nice little regular season matchup with them. Probably in all the years I've been the head coach, the most exciting game was 2018. Yeah, 2018 we played at Wheeling Park, and it was just back and forth. I don't know, it was like 42-38 maybe was the final score. It was just back and forth and back and forth. And, yeah, we've had some really good battles with them. But like you said, I got a lot of respect for Coach Doc and the program that they have up there.
They do things the right way. Like, they're very well coached. You know, I think our kids are relatively similar. You know, they're just a bunch of tough kids, similar to ours, that are going to be well coached. They're going to do things correctly. They're going to run to the ball. They're going to tackle. They're going to be fundamentally sound. You know, and then when you add in some of the players that have been in some of those games over the years, I mean, gosh, you know, the 3 years that Blake Hartman played them, I mean, just unbelievable performances almost every single time he touched the field against them. They're guys as well. I mean, they've had good quarterbacks, good running backs, good linemen, good defensive players. You know, I think it's so intense because there's a mutual respect between the 2 coaching staffs, and there's a respect amongst the players as well, because, you know, real recognizes real, however you want to word it. You know, I just think when you step onto the field, those guys know that, you know, we're gonna play till the final whistle blows, but they're the exact same. That's like Coach is saying. I respect the heck out of their coaching staff, because every year they're good. They're never down. You know, and I feel like that's what makes a good rivalry.
So, Coach Smith, we've talked a lot about kind of history and culture, and when I think about Musselman football, it's almost like you guys are in kind of a way an antithesis to modern football. I mean, it's a selfless kind of old school offense. I know you guys are a little bit more modern on defense, and I look at the guys that play for you every year. I mean, Aiden looks like he just stepped out of the Morgan Wallen music video. You know, you got a lot of grit, a lot of sandpaper, a lot of blue collar. You know, that to me is Musselman. Is that something that you intentionally want to continue to bring out of this program every single year?
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter to me. Like the size, the measurables like that doesn't really matter to me. You know, you can go to any state in the country and pick out a kid that might be the exact size and weight and speed that you want for that position. But if they're not willing to run through a wall for you, then what good are they? You know what I mean? I'd rather have a kid that they might be a little bit undersized or they might be looked at as, you know, lacking in some area. But if they're willing to do their job, do their 1/11th at all times, and just sacrifice their body for the team, like, sign me up with those guys all day long. We won a lot of games at Musselman before I left, and now, you know, beating teams that on paper were better than us personnel-wise. And the Wheeling Park game is a prime example because the kids just trust what you're saying and go out and just lay it on the line. You know, those are the guys that have always played at Musselman, and those are the guys that are always going to play at Musselman. You know, now it'd be awesome if, you know, as the year goes on, if some kid fits that mold, he happens to be 6'4", 270 pounds, and plays 3 technique, that'd be sweet. But if not, whatever, we'll make it work with what we got.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for us here at the Epac Media here. Thanks, Musselman Appleman, for joining us, players, coaches. We appreciate it, guys. And that's going to do it for Drew Pitzer, Luke Wiggs, Parker Stone, Bill McCulley down there on the end. I'm J.D. Fritz. Also like to thank our cameraman, Jamari Robinson, Dawson Harris, producer Harry Brown, as always, guys. Join us back here on Home Team Sports TV, August 28th, opening game against Jefferson versus Spring Mills. That's going to do it. We'll see you guys. I'm out.